Renaissance, boys!
Bayonetta. Now this is a video game right here. Rated by Platinum Games and directed by Hideki Kamiya, who I'm sure has already blocked me on both Twitter and Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky, by the way. Follow me for updates on my stuff. Bayonetta is easily one of the best character action games to hit the market, and easily in my top 5 within that same genre. Though there was one challenge for the game I never attempted once, beating it on its highest difficulty, non-stop Infinite Climax. I had originally beaten it on hard, but man, that was a rough time. The remix enemy fights combined with the game's already high damage and weird meter system completely destroyed me, but I did survive. And so, a few years later, I asked myself, can a normal man beat Bayonetta on non-stop Infinite Climax? Well, let's find out, dear viewer, and maybe I can inspire you guys to attempt this behemoth of a challenge. But if you've never played this game, sit down, enjoy the ride, and hey, give this game a shot if you like what you see. I highly recommend it. We begin the game with me hitting continue halfway through a level that isn't the prologue. We're not doing this chapter. But then we actually hit up the prologue, the festival. There's also a stage called Records of Time, but that's not important for this playthrough. All you need to know is that there's a cool fight on a crumbling clock tower with 2 characters we'll see soon enough. In the prologue, it's here we're introduced to our lovely pal Enzo.
It looks like Humpty Dumpty's taking his last fall. Even old Eggman the Destroyer gets scrambled in the end, right?
Hey, I'm walking here. He's also with the nun, praying for Eggman from Sonic.
You can keep praying, but the only way this guy's meeting the Lord is if God's hungry for breakfast.
I guess he couldn't outrun death.
Well then, adios.
But after long enough, the light of God splits the sky and angels begin to descend.
What the fuck? They're here? For this douchebag?
And our nun jumps up to greet them. And then this happens. Yeah, sorry boys, God is on the menu today as our nun beats the ever-living tar out of these angels, and let me tell you, this intro sequence is so hard for me to cut down. I love it dearly. The only other thing to match its energy is the start of the second game, but that's for another time. Now, our nun here won't be the only one kicking some angel ass.
Oh shit, forgive me, Hitman. I didn't mean all that Humpty Dumpty shit. I swear.
Damn, Eggman looks different. This is Rodon, and you better enjoy him now, because after this and like 2 more cutscenes, you'll never see him again this playthrough.
Next time you want me hands on you, you better make sure I'm dead.
But let's not worry about that. How's it going over? Sorry, I should be giving you some privacy here. There she is, everyone. Bayonetta. She is beauty. She is grace. She will shoot you in the face. She's also a little rough with those guns. My fingers also looked like this by the end of the run.
As long as there's music, I'll keep on dancing.
But after the best intro cutscene ever, finally begin the first gameplay segment. Almost. See, since this game is so difficult and complicated, I'm gonna hit you guys with a lot of information, but this is a video about Bayonetta's highest difficulty, so that's somewhat to be expected. Let's start with the basics. Punch, kick, shoot, and jump. Standard action game fare, very easy to use. Bayonetta has one more move though, which is the most important of these, dodging. It's your main way to avoid taking damage and has 2 mechanics tied to it, versus Bayonetta's most famous mechanic, Witch Time. Dodging an attack just before it hits you, or just as it hits you if you have Bat Within, will have you enter Witch Time, slowing down time for everyone except you. This is great! It gives you a huge advantage, allowing you to react faster, knock enemies around easily, and get a big score multiplier. Except it's worthless to us because non-stop Infinite Climax, aside from keeping the changes that Hard has, completely disables Witch Time, except in sections where it's mandatory. The only way to trigger it here is by using the accessory Celine's Light or the Bracelet of Time. But I'm not a bitch, and I don't have the bracelet unlocked, so we'll be doing this without Witch Time. Also, the Moon of Mahakala can't trigger Witch Time here, but it's still incredibly useful. Keep it on at all times. Now, some say the Infinite Climax proves that you were just using Witch Time as a crutch so you don't have to learn how enemies worked, and while that can be true, it does feel wrong to just remove it outright. It's like, hey, here's this thing that helps the game stand out, and it's gone. Have fun! But all is not lost. The other mechanic is still completely available to us, and while it's never shown in the tutorial, you can find it in your move list. Hidden here is what also makes Bayonetta special. Dodge Offset. What this allows you to do is to keep your place in the combo while dodging. To do this, you keep the button you pressed held down while dodging, and after you dodge, you can continue your combo from where you left off. And get into the habit of holding down the buttons, as charged attacks are also important to increase the damage you do. Really, all of this is extremely important to learn for this difficulty, as you will need to constantly be dodging to stay alive and getting to the end of your combos as you access your Wicked Weaves to open up your enemies for big damage. And that brief moment lets your dodge counter reset so you won't screw yourself over, because after 5 dodges in a row, Bayonetta is stuck in this animation and you can't do anything. Top it all off, all this is happening in a game that will not slow down for you and will beat you within an inch of your life the millisecond it gets. Now let's hop back to the prologue. Here we face off against the most basic enemies, the Affinities. Heaven's most basic foot soldier, these guys can be cannon fodder in small numbers, but they have a lot of different weapons. The most common is this ornamental spear halberd thing. I'm really not sure what it really is. They do have other weapons as we go, but they won't stop me from absolutely bullying these guys. And after clearing them out, we then meet the enemies called Decorations. These guys are the annoying bats of this game, only really hitting you to jump you from off screen. You can football kick them though. One of the best things about these enemies isn't just bullying them for style. They also allow you to earn magic. What's interesting about Bayonetta is that, unlike the Sparta family, Bayonetta does not have a devil trigger of any kind, at least not in this game. Instead, she can spend her meter on things like torture attacks, which you'll want to go for if you're trying for the highest rank, as they give you big score. And for certain techniques, as some use magic to add a Wicked Weave to them. Biggest drawback of magic is, well, if you play poorly, you're gonna lose it, as each hit drains it. So how do you earn it? Hit enemies. Best results? Hit them a lot. If you can, try adding Afterburner Kick, Breakdance, Stiletto, and Heel Slide into your toolkit. These skills can generate a lot of magic for you to use quickly and leave smaller enemies stun locked. And by God, we're gonna want to use that magic soon, because look who's already here. That's right, boys, it's Grace and fucking Glory on level 1. These guys are why I have so much preamble on the first level. If you don't know, these are one of the most infamous enemies in Bayonetta, the whole series, full stop. They're fast, hit hard, and always come in pairs of 2. No less, but there could be more. This is where we want to spend that magic mirror to stay alive, as openings against Grace and Glory are incredibly rare to get without hitting them with a Wicked Weave. The quick and dirty way is to either use Heel Stomp or Tetsuzanko for 3 magic to instantly slam them with a weave, though Heel Stomp is more preferable as it will keep them in place. The more likely way is that you'll be using Dodge Offset to get a weave through a finisher. I highly suggest using a quick finisher rather than a slower one unless they're already stunned or far away, or they will tear you apart. And if you have the magic for it, once one of them drops to around a third of their health, you can use a torture attack to finish them. And speaking of these, there's one more thing I would like to address. See, Bayonetta has quick time events, and the ones you have to mash buttons for want you to mash them like crazy. We'll be bringing up this point again later against a certain boss. But the main thing I have to bring up is that your boy has the old carpal tunnel. If I was playing Bayonetta normally, it'd start to hurt like you wouldn't believe. But I pulled a sneaky on the game. Since we're running this on the PC version, it uses Steam. And Steam allows us to set up custom button layouts that we can switch to at any time. So I used this and set up a layout of turbo buttons, baby! And by pressing down on the D-pad, I can switch this layout at any time. This will not cause any problems for me at all. It did allow me to play Bayonetta for 4 hours at a time rather than 1, so that's nice. Getting back to the Grace and Glory party crashes, we dispatch them and then Enzo gets kidnapped.
I'm not dead yet!
We rush over to save him and... I'm sure that'll buff out.
Ah! Damn it, who did that? I just bought the damn thing!
Haven't you figured it out yet? There's no quarter for you in this world.
Well, I guess they can't use the vending machines. A+ joked me, you did it. A+. Never stream again. Though that's the least of our worries, because after we meet an Epilogue, which is just an infinity but bigger, we meet these bastards. Fairness. They are nothing of the sort. Next to Gear and Gomez, Fairness and its electric cousin, Fearless, are the enemies that give you the most trouble. Not even a certain enemy we'll encounter later gives me as much trouble as these two. Though Fearless is a little easier, but it's not here right now, so we'll get to that segment later. Fearless acts like it's slow, but it's actually one of the fastest enemies in the game. Its bite attack happens seemingly with no tell, as this one recovers and uses it within 30 frames. It also has this fucking roar that will stun you if you're too close to it. On top of that, if you keep your distance, which you probably shouldn't be doing for too long with any enemy in Bayonetta, it'll shoot incredibly fast projectiles at you. Really, all the enemies in this game are fucking fast on this difficulty. That's why you should always be dodging. See, I even made a little acronym for you. There you go. After enough struggling, we hit Fairness with the big Lego wheel. Big kick! Yeah, we sure spun him, didn't we? And we're done with the first verse of the level. Took a while. After that, Bayonetta bullies Enzo some more.
Wait, Rodan! What about Eggman?
We just need to make sure he won't come crawling back when they kick him out.
Nothing a flower bed can't fix. Fill her up.
You heard the man. Finish up in 5 minutes or you're walking home to your cake and candles.
What? Don't you leave me here!
We then have a nice calm drive with Enzo. And he gives us some exposition on Bayonetta. The short version is she's a witch that was found at the bottom of a lake with no memory, and only knowing that, as a witch, she has to sacrifice angels every day or the demon she has a contract with will drag her to Inferno.
If I needed a biographer, you wouldn't be my first choice.
After that, Bayonetta finds a bug on Enzo, the spy kind.
Too bad. I can't stand bugs.
And a car that was tailing us quickly takes an exit. But we don't have long to think about that.
Huh? What the fuck?
Thanks to Bayonetta's quick reactions and her ability to still use witch time in cutscenes, she's able to hop onto the plane seat that's infested with angels. But that's not the only thing here. Meet Jean, a witch just like Bayonetta. She'll be our rival character for this game, and I absolutely love her outfit. Good shit. But before we can get anything out of her, we have to do one last thing this mission. We have to, without witch time, use 3 torture attacks on Grace and Glories. This is easily one of the hardest sections of the game, because if you slip up, all of the magic you gain will be gone. This is the only moment in the game where you have to do something like this, all-time challenges notwithstanding. The way I got around this was by equipping the accessory Eternal Testimony, something I've had on since the beginning. It reveals the first 2 orbs on your magic gauge, meaning you only need 1 more for a quick weave and 6 more to get our torture attack. Did that lower the stress of this section? Absolutely not! Because I had to bank my magic, I basically spent this entire fight shooting from far away with Scarborough Fair to slowly build my magic up and then finally use the torture attack the moment they became available. See, I'm a little more confident against Gear and Guilty when I'm fighting them normally, but in this specific battle, nope, absolutely not. Get their asses away from me. The only advice I could really give is to use dodge offset to either hit them with weaves, launch them, or knock them down. And if you end up killing one of them, they do drop pickups that restore some of your magic, but you'll probably be having a bad time regardless. And just so you know, this section normally only has affinities in it, not this. but after a very long struggle, we're finally able to beat the verse. We even got a pure platinum out of this too. Afterwards, the girls start having the average girls' night. And we're about to ask John some questions, but Optimus Prime has something to say first. And Jean gets away. We rescue Enzo, have a flashback about Jean stabbing us in the chest, and get out of there, heading to Rodin's bar, the Gates of Hell. It's here we get some world building from Rodin and Bayonetta, as they explain that there's the human world, Paradiso where the angels are, Inferno where the demons are, and Purgatorio, which is in the middle of all three, and happens to be where Bayonetta is fighting the angels. Rodin brings up all this because there's been something messing with the status quo, and as he put it,
but people keep fucking around like this. The Book of Revelations is gonna look like Mother Goose. Heaven and hell are gonna go straight for each other's throats.
Now, does Bayonetta care?
Heaven and hell can tear each other to pieces for all I care.
Are Heaven and Hell gonna pay me? Are they gonna pay my rent? I don't think so. Like, we've got shit to do. Not only that, but with Enzo's tip about a precious jewel having surfaced somewhere recently, the job they've taken seems like a setup. But now, Rodin gives Bayonetta her special order, Scarborough Fair, which I already had technically because it's New Game Plus, but whatever. Rodin is our weapons dealer after all, and Bayonetta absolutely loves them, as do I, since they're my most used weapon in this game. There are plenty of weapons in Bayonetta, but these 4 pistols are my favorite. But after that, Bayonetta decides she should take the job Rodin's offering. Very quickly.
Not to butt into your affairs, but I'm pretty sure you got somewhere better to be. The guys you're up against aren't the type to wait for you to finish a round. Enzo, her drinks are going on your tab, buddy. You deadbeat motherfucker.
With that, we finally cleared the prologue, which means we can play Angel Attack. There's a minigame at the end of every level where you can shoot angels for points, and you can trade in these points for items or halos, which are the game's currency. I will be abstaining from using these items here, as I do want to get better, and I can't really do that if I use crutches. But hey, if you just want to enjoy yourself, go nuts. I won't judge. We're here for a good time in the end. We begin traveling over Europe. As we do, Enzo tells us about what we're looking for. Gemstone called the Right Eye, said to be part of a set called the Eyes of the World. Whoever was selling it wanted a price so astronomically high that even those on the black market didn't want it. Not the best business decision, but people did figure out where the guy was. A city in the middle of nowhere, Europe. Bigrid. Getting there, Bayonetta immediately decides to serve.
The time has come to awaken the eyes of the world.
But here's where we'll talk about a few weapons. My normal set consists of Scarborough Fair in set A, and Kolsherda and Durga in set B on my arms and legs respectively. It's a good set as it allows me to fight enemies with something I'm very familiar with and then pull them closer when I need to by switching to Kolsherda. I keep Durga on my feet because there's a few sections where lava is a hazard, and if Durga is in fire mode then you can walk on them no problem. There are a few weapons that share Scarborough Fair's moveset, but I personally prefer the OG. Feel free to mess around with them though, you might find something you like. It's also where I show off Sci-Fun, which is apparently named after Bruce Lee's childhood nickname. It's an absurd weapon as it's a set of gunchucks, though the most absurd part is that you need to beat 100 stages of the game to unlock the damn thing, which I did. No, what I mean is that you have to beat 100 stages. So, yeah, and then you finally get this, which is just gunchucks, and they're great. Can't even unlock it with cheats like the other weapons. You have to beat 100 stages. I played through the prologue so much for this weapon. It is worth it, though. It's a very fun weapon. I really wish it came back in other games, too. It's incredibly fun to use, and I feel like I only scratched the surface of what I could do with it. Moving forward, we enter into the Arrival, setting off the metal detector despite being in Purgatorio. I'm still confused how this works. And we have to use our powers to bust through this wall, which will be a recurring thing going forward. We then jump down here, bust open this chest, and get a key, which acts as a weapon. Though we don't have time to make a Kingdom Hearts joke, as right as we get back up here, we're assaulted by a Joy, a vicious angel that normally appears much later again, but surprise! Though the key makes quick work of it. Sadly, this doesn't last for long, as the next room we have to fight 2 more. Think of fighting a Joy like you're in a mini rival battle, as they share a lot of your moveset. I recommend keeping the pressure on them, as if you leave them alone for long enough, they'll split into more Joys, with the new one having full health, because fuck you. Sci-Fung is very helpful in this room for keeping the other Joys locked down with the shots. I've also noticed that sometimes you can launch a Joy, pursue them in the air, which forces them into a dodge, and then follow up with a kick landing right on top of their head, though it is inconsistent. Keep the pressure up and use Heal Stomp and Tetsuzanko to do big damage, and you'll be good. No. No. I mean, come on, I gotta do that too. Now we get to use these statues to activate which time to get across this water here, so you can actually jump over it with Panther Within. Also, I'm going to show you one of the Alfheims in this level. After you activate this lift, immediately turn around and hop down to where you found the key earlier. And there it is. We're not doing the Alfheims as we're just trying to survive this difficulty, but if you want a pure Platinum award, they're required. Good luck. But we ride the lift and soon meet Rodon. He's here to advertise the shop we're not going to use, as I've already bought all the skills and items I need. Everything else is either cosmetics or items that lower our rank when we use them. And I'd rather get better than use items as a crutch, even if it is rough. Also, Bayonetta has a line that makes me cringe every single time.
If you get in my way, I will... How do the Americans put it? Oh yes. Bust a cap in your ass.
Right on, baby.
I'm gonna be real with you, that is like the only line in the game that that hurts me. I don't know why. I think it's just the delivery of it. It just hurts me a little bit. Maybe it's a European version of Florida. What? The Vatican said. I like that 2 people said Vatican City. Oh, jeez. Beautiful. I'm glad my chat just likes to dunk on the Vatican. Soon after we meet some more affinities and applause, and I get to show off that I am at least somewhat competent at this game. If I want to actually gain good combo ratings. Oh well. There you go, boys. You got one. Is everybody happy? We got the good noise. This is where they start busting out other weapons like trumpets and tubas, which act as ranged weapons. If you're feeling confident, you can parry the projectiles with the Moon of Mahakala to deflect the shots from the trumpets. That is not the person I meant to do that to, but I guess it happened, so whatever. Then after long enough, a new angel joins in the fray, a beloved. These are angels who ape their divine greens, and it shows. They're big, hit hard, but are quite slow. Though slow in Bayonetta is still pretty fast, so be careful. They do have a big glowing weak spot on their back, but don't just mindlessly attack it, as they will try to grab you. Able to do enough damage to the glowing weak point, you are able to stun the beloved. Not only that, but they actually get knocked around quite easily with weaves, so if you need some space, hit them with a weave. And once we get the Beloved's health down low enough, we hit the climax and summon the demon Gamora to finish it. Not every mini-boss needs to be taken out this way, but it is fun when it happens. Job's done. I think I got hit a couple of times. Yeah. I then turn around and decide to challenge this hidden verse as it has, you guessed it, a Gary and Gizmo in it. And since I actually can fight them normally, it goes well. Though there is this part where I almost get got because the dodge cooldown, but the moon is able to save me. Seriously, there's no reason to have it unequipped unless you're doing something really specific. After that, we go back to fight some more affinities with the tiniest verse ever. Bayonetta, please. you gotta open the door normally. I was in mid shitty joke and I immediately took damage for it. You know what? I guess that's just my punishment. That's what I get. And then have a flashback to the witch hunts of old, something Bayonetta was originally part of. This section is very quick if you have the moon equipped. Okay, here we go, guys. This boss is gonna be so hard. Alright, well, it was a good run, guys. Once again, my arrogance has immediately punched me directly into the ground. Okay, we're good. Alright, great. And then snap back to reality, and oops, there goes gravity. Now to fight a beloved on the bridge, well, it just rips it out and starts playing with it like a toddler. Fun set piece, though you'll have to pay attention when it slams the bridge into the wall, as the bridge will cause you to stumble. It doesn't deal damage, though. Once the beloved's had enough of this shit, it just throws the bridge away. Oh, guess he's not coming after me. Guess I'll just walk down this set of stairs and... Nice try, jackass! This beloved is much tougher than the rest, and you'll be fighting him while he's barely hanging onto the cliff edge here. And if you're too slow, you will die, which makes me realize that Sci-Fung is not good for bosses at all. But don't worry, we have a much more potent boss killer we'll bust out later. For now, we dunk on this beloved and summon Gamora one more time. And with that, Chapter 1 comes to a close. The moon! Oh, hey, Jean's back. After two of us kill some angels, who she's apparently working for, by the way. She then asks Bayonetta if she's searching for her past. We still don't know who Jean is, but we do know she has the same powers as us, which include parking a whole bike on a wall. But since Bayo's a little rusty, she didn't notice that Jean stole the amulet on her chest.
Your little dip in that lake has left you a bit rusty.
The only rust on me is from the lack of any real challenge.
You've already disappointed me.
Must mean to myself every day, baby. Let's go. Self-deprecation. We sadly failed to get it back, but we at least looked cool trying. John then reprimands us about destiny.
But you've forgotten your destiny. And wasted the past 20 years.
I forgot about it because Destiny sucks.
You're right.
I'm sorry, it's too easy to make fun of Destiny 2. Bungie, make a good video game and I'll stop. Then mentions something about two overseers in the eyes of the world, thus causing Bayonetta to have a flashback. Here we see Jean about to become a full Umbran witch. She simply has to duel someone. She then chooses Bayonetta, much to the Council's upset since she has impure blood.
None! Nilen Kiadagat! The child is of impure blood!
It would not be the first time we faced each other.
Coward.
Oh my god.
Will you face me in this hallowed arena?
Well, if I must. But I pray you've got a little something for me in return. You know, I'm very fond of stuffed animals.
But the duel goes ahead, and surprise, we have to play this. Shit. Jean's fight is easily going to be a roadblock on any difficulty, not just Infinite Climax. She's fast, it's hard, and since the moon is out, the two of you can stand on the walls and ceiling, causing a lot of difficulty when trying to track her. Try to stay on the ground if you can. She also has access to most of your moveset, including, most notably, Heel Stomp. She loves this move and will use it to catch you if you're not looking. Same where she snaps her fingers and summons a weave. Damn, Jean the Witches let you have all this magic? One more thing for this part, regardless of difficulty, it will force you into using the Umbran Sisters, which are just a reskin of Scarborough Fair, so no wacky charaba shenanigans here. She beats my ass so hard we restart the level because chapter 2 is pretty long and I'd like to have a little more health at this part. It took a couple of attempts, but we did finally get a winning strategy. Also, pro tip, select an R2 at the same time you can instantly skip cutscenes. Very handy. What I found for Jean is that, since she shares your dodge mechanics, you want to hit her during moves or right after. Use weaves if you got them. Just make sure you don't mash attacks into her, because she will suddenly break out and attack you back. Just try to stay calm, listen for her tells, and you should be good. Shit. Okay. Oh my god. Right back at you. Oh my god, man. Happened again. Happened again. Mid-combat. Fuck. Thinking this is it, though. I think I can deal with this. Oof. I'll take that gold medal. That fight's hard. That fight's really hard. After that, we come back to the present and use our rediscovered power to walk on the wall here. I also take the time to switch to the Bazillions. Again, they're like Scarborough Fair, but they shoot big lasers. Walking forward here is where we formally meet one of the enemies of all time, Deer and Decorations. Aww. Decorations we've seen before in the prologue, but Deer is basically a big version of them. They're really basic. The most trouble they can give you is if they attack you from off-screen or distract you from other enemies in the area. Oh, and Deer makes this shield that just delays how long he gets to stay on Earth before we send him back to heaven. I mean, Decorations so annoying in 2. Oh yeah, they did! Fuck those things. Bye-bye. Oh, man. Heading into town, we meet the goofy-ass man himself, Luca, currently running from the Vagrant police. And then he does this.
Do you believe in fate? Fate brought us here together, and it will never tear us apart.
I love this dumbass so much. You know, until the incident. But he slips away from the police and notices a certain fragrance that he recognizes, belonging to Bayonetta. He decides to announce her presence.
Bayonetta.
Bayonetta plays with him a bit, which results in him nearly reenacting the last scene of Final Destination.
You can't just run away from me like that!
Yes, I can. I just did it. We then get a flashback to when Luca saw his father murdered, presumably by Bayonetta. We then get the best line reading in the series.
I know all about your kind.
It gets me every time. Some angels come in, Luca attempts to accuse Bayonetta again, but he's not quite looking the right way.
Which means I'm right on your doorstep, Bayonetta.
Luckily, Bayo protects him, and she basically tells him she did not kill his father in the most cryptic way possible.
I'll let you in on a little secret, Cheshire.
The name is Luke.
You need to hone your sense of smell, my dear. There's no rosemary in the perfume.
Come on, guys, can't you two just talk normally? Well, no time for that. Time for more fighting. This is where I can show off that using a torture attack has angels drop their weapons, allowing you to use them for a bit, or do what I do and use the spear's heavy attack in the middle of a crowd. Shout out to that one all-time mission where you have to use angel weapons. And only angel weapons. Oh, Christ. This is a fairly straightforward fight with the affinities and the plots, though a beloved shows up halfway through regardless of if you killed the applauds or not. I didn't intend for that to happen, but you know what? We take those. Just gonna do this for the invincibility, thanks. I am not a fan of this camera angle. Can we stop that, please? This isn't any better. But I absolutely bullied the beloved. Sadly, we can't kill this one just yet. He's needed for another set piece later. He should technically be dead, but you know. Afterwards, Luca accuses Bayonetta of running away from him, though he doesn't know it, but she's right there with him. Moving on, we head down the street, nearly getting hit by this out-of-control tram, which shows us what is possibly the most annoying enemy in the game. Chant. Be sure to dodge after its intro cutscene. Yeah, you have to dodge that, by the way. Like, that's real. You have to dodge that. That is not just a cutscene. Enchants are not great. They're like the Lost Souls of this game, just annoying tiny enemies that serve little purpose aside from being annoying. Deer and decorations are close to Lost Souls, but they're so passive even on this difficulty that no, it's the enchants. They fly at you very quickly, and the devs just love to shove them on walls and have them shoot at you from a distance, and they are glued in place until you attack them, by the way. Use Colsherda, for God's sake, use it. And we're getting some strange issues with pausing the game. I'm sure this won't lead to anything going wrong. But after that issue, the beloved from before is back. Much healthier looking now than he was before, but we beat his ass again and he calls for backup. Not that it helps it much, though the camera's the real backup. I'm gonna have the camera fuck me up really bad, so what's gonna happen? I'd also like to show off this moment to prove why dodge offset is so helpful. But the beloveds aren't long for this world, and a couple more weaves later, that's that. Look at that, they didn't even hit me once. We then head over here and oh look, a single joy, which honestly isn't that much of a threat as you think it is. And I'll prove it. Okay. I gotta do the torture attack against the joy at least one time. Yes, you did see that right, everybody. You're not going crazy. It is kind of nuts to me that one joy is not that difficult to deal with, but then it's just like, here comes like 3, and at that point I just kind of like cry internally because I know that fight's gonna be an ass. I also find this piece of a broken witch heart up here after the fight, actually finishing the one I was working on, so I got a little more health for this run. Now, I can go back to the stage and witch statues we saw earlier to use witch time on this wall here so it doesn't repair itself, but this is New Game Plus, so... You know, maybe I should confess my sins of sequence breaking. Let's go to church real quick.
Church.
Who's there?
Oh hey, there's a child here.
You've played enough hide and seek, my scurrying little friend. just a child?
This gives Bayonetta another flashback. Who could this child be? We'll never figure it out. And she's gone. Just like that. Alright, well, I better go talk to God real quick. Aw man, he's still pissed I made him weak to bullets in SMT4 Apocalypse, isn't he? This angel gives Bayonetta one more flashback, showing that the angels were after the eyes of the world as well. That's certainly more than enough reason to beat this thing's ass. This is an awkward fight. The cramped space combined with the speed this thing has makes it very difficult to get through without getting hit. Feels like I don't have a lot of room to dodge or react to, or I don't have a lot of time to react to their attacks. And before long, another dragon head joins the fight. And now it's twice as difficult since you'll have to split your attention. But if you just weave them, you should be good. But watch out for the quick time event. Oh, he did it. That instantly kills you for failing it, by the way. We then throw the entire church at the angel. And chapter 2 comes to a close. Hey.
Fire! 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 Ah!
Chapter 3 starts and Bayo gets to use witch time in a cutscene again. I'm exceptionally jealous. And the angel that was attacking her starts to have a conversation. Good thing there's subtitles because I can't speak angel. But when it asks if Bayonetta is his awakener, she says no in the best way possible.
If I was your child, I'd be an awfully ugly witch, wouldn't I?
The angel actually apologizes and says he has no quarrel with her, and then Bayonetta chooses violence.
No quarrel? You're in no position to decide that.
The angel leaves, and I guess Vigor was built on top of a volcano or something because there's now lava everywhere. This is where the run starts to get rough because I've been practicing the last few levels to get into the groove of Infinite Climax, as well as unlocking Saifeng, but you know, that's just how it is. But chapter 3 is where I'd stop my practice runs. This is also why I have Durga on my feet, as I've explained before, but now it's on both sets. And here we run into a new angel, the Harmonies. These guys are strange, to say the least. Sometimes they give me trouble, other times not at all. It's mostly when they get in the way of each other and start shooting at me. Honestly, if they're the only enemy in the area, they're pretty easy to deal with, especially if you separate them with Pulsherda. We can even show off how absurdly strong Durga's fire charge attacks are. Ironically, I feel like these guys are easier to fight than the normal affinities that you fight in this area, because the normal affinities you fight in this area are covered in lavas. You can't hit them normally outside of witch time. But I guess that's why these guys are here, because you can't use witch time. It's actually kind of funny to think about, actually, when I realized that. That kind of makes this a little easier, in a way. At least for now. Oh boy. And then we threw 5 grace and glories at him. It was amazing. We then run down the street we did earlier. This time a wall of lava chases us. By the way, if you're going for pure platinum, you must get a combo on these 2 beloveds. You can't just leave. If you have any magic left over, use a Tetsuzanko or 2. Right here is where fairness is properly introduced. Again, dodge after the cutscene. Nope. In fact, let's just get this shit right out of the way. Here we can see its speed allowing it to get a few hits in before it misses a charge and slams into a wall, thus becoming stunned. Not really a way to bait them into doing this, just take advantage of it when it happens. After that, we head through this janky lava with witch time and start to fight the affinities before some lava makes them run away. Bayonetta has other ideas for avoiding the lava, however. Go by Bayonetta already. Now, this is a part where the spiked gloves go on because goddamn, the game decides to spawn in 3 R doors at once. These guys are faster, tougher, meaner versions of applauds, easily draining most of your health if you aren't careful. This is why I suggested bringing the moon so much, as even when you're getting hit, you can still use it to parry, saving yourself from getting comboed further. A good thing to know with R doors is that much like Beloveds, they can easily be knocked around with weaves, and on top of that, they can't really fight back in the air. But since there's 3 of them, that's still really risky to do. Oh, jeez. Oh. No. I had a red hot shot? When did I have that? Oh, you guys suck. I do not remember buying a red hot shot ever. I think I slightly touched the lava. Oh my god. I am able to get through this, but only barely. Right after we run away from some more lava. I almost hit X instead of square. I had a bad time in that fight. I have to fight 2 fairnesses at once, which quickly leads to our first death of the run. Okay, they can do that. Alright boys, first death of the run, let's go! Yeah, we're gonna be seeing the screen a lot. I almost see it again in this very fight because fuck these enemies. Oh my god. Alright, fine. I will now play as Little Mac from Smash, by which I mean I'm never going in the air ever again against these enemies. Jesus Christ. Awful. Awful. Dog shit. Don't come back. But we're able to pull it off and do another QTE. We're inside a cave with more lava and... Oh. So, we gonna get some fighting music or what? Because, like, it's just... Aside from the sound effects, it's a little desolate. Hey, got them both with 1 wicked weave. Let's go. After that, we try to cross this bridge, but nature has other ideas. Turning around, we fight through some Braves, basically smaller and faster Beloveds. The main difference is that there's enough of them, they'll fuse together to make a Beloved. Though the real killer of this fight is me accidentally activating my turbo buttons, which, yeah, I activated my turbo mode again. On the rematch, I dunk on them so hard, Bayonetta says this. Come back in 10 years. This is also where I swap out Eternal Testimony for Pully's Butterfly. This summons butterflies around you which will absorb hits in your place. Something I did not know though is that they constantly drain your magic while they're out, so you know, that should prove to you how little I actually use it. Oh yeah, we also took this gate to Paradiso real quick, grabbed this hourglass which you take back to the human world and use it to fix the bridge by turning back time. This sounds like a lot, but it's really not. We did have another altercation with some harmonies. But afterwards, we get through the rest of this level set pieces, and that's all. Alright, we did it. That's another level down, because there's no more other encounters at this point, so... here we go! We also get our first stone award, of many during this run. Something I do recommend when you're trying to get better isn't to look at these. I know the big award at the end takes up like a third of the screen and the death counter is rough to look at, but look right here. Look at the medals. Sure, you've died and that'll affect the award you get at the end, but look at your progress in the Indivisible Verses. That's your real progress right there. You could also just quit to the main menu when you get hit to keep your pure platinum rank. But you wouldn't do that, would you? You wouldn't lie to get a better rank, thus learning nothing in the end. Surely you wouldn't do that, right? We walk in while the angel from before is having a call with someone about the fate of the demon world as well as, likely, Bayonetta before we interrupt them.
You again?
The angel then formally introduces itself as Fortitudo and offers to put Bayonetta out of her miserable fate. She doesn't take too kindly to that offer. Don't care, didn't ask, plus you're scum.
I forgot to mention one of the reasons I hunt your kind. You're much too ugly not to put out of your misery.
Well, she's right, and she's right, so she's right. You need to learn how to shut the fuck up. Bayonetta then activates serious mode and we begin the fight. And, it's a bit rough. Don't get discouraged. Bosses in character action games require you to learn a whole different moveset than the ones you've been practicing against. At least in Bayonetta, they have the courtesy to have the boss fights as their own individual chapters, so it's easy to practice them. With one exception. Something to also note for boss fights in Bayonetta is that they give you mid-fight checkpoints, so don't worry too much if you're struggling. With Fortitudo, he is really goddamn fast for his size. Okay, Jesus Christ. Which sucks because if you get hit while on a platform, it will send you into a grapple animation you have to get out of. I also suggest having Durga on your feet again since the floor is once again lava sometimes. This is where I equipped Shiraba. Fantastic weapon, S tier, though I still default to using Scarborough Fair more. What's nice about Shiraba is that during boss fights, since we're in serious mode, this allows us to summon a Wicked Weave with every attack. Since Shiraba's finishers create a large sword for its weaves that hit much bigger areas, it does fantastic against bosses. You can also do this. Back to Fortitudo, what I found is that while you're standing on these platforms, stick to using Scarborough Fair, one of its side grades, as it will allow you to do the most damage from far away. Once you're on the ground, unsheath Shiraba and become the storm that's approaching as you devastate his health bar. If he's stunned, you can activate a QTE, but I'd recommend dealing more damage normally instead, since you don't want to activate Fortitudo's later phases before he's damaged enough. But once he flies away, you'll have to jump up to him, which is basically automatic, so don't sweat it. And activate the QTE there, ripping off one of his arms. Take you for a ride, buddy! And 1. And 2. And I'm gonna need to punch that ticket for you to win the big prize. You repeat this for the other arm as well, and while he has only a single arm, not a whole lot changes about his fight. Parried one of them. Parried 2 of them. Dude. I went to activate Polly's Butterfly. I thought I had enough time, but no, he did a third one in a row. They'll never expect the third fireball, Folly. Alright, here we go, baby. Here we go. Here we go. One. 2. And let's punch that second ticket. Let's see if it's enough. like we're gonna have to go for the hat trick. But once both arms are off, he gets pissed and blows up the entire Colosseum. Time for the final phase. There's a time limit, but either you or him will be dead long before it's up, so don't even worry about it. Instead, worry about the tail attack coming from the floor. For the most part, you'll be dodging his attacks until he's close enough for you to get hits in. So it's a lot of waiting and dodging, though you should at least be shooting at him to keep your combo up if you're going for a pure platinum. I didn't do it here, but Afterburner Kick is very good when he's close. It can do lots of hits for more magic. You should also use Scarborough Fair as well, but I was too focused to switch to it at the time. Get back here. Oh my god, dude. This is infuriating. Enough. But finally, we deplete his health bar and he swings his tail ass. And we grab it so we can hit the climax of this fight. Yeet! Then summon the giant demon bird Malphas and teach Fortitudo what it's like to be Prometheus for a day. You know what? Let's hit him some more.
So ugly when you're screaming.
But after that, Fortitudo says his death was foretold and he is simply a sacrifice for the resurrection of the Creator. And as he gets dragged to Inferno, he says this. Alright, bye-bye. You win the prize, eternity in hell, bye-bye. With that, we head out getting more messages from the voices before we finish Chapter 4. It was a rough one, but we did it, and I think Past Me put it the best. The important thing to know when learning these games is not worry so much about rank, because you'll get a better rank eventually if you keep at it. The important thing is that if you can do it once, you can do it again, but better. So you just gotta keep that up, and then eventually you'll get very good.
Where the hell am I?
You're in the longest and most difficult stage of the game, Bayonetta. No joke, this chapter is a good 50 minutes, though that includes deaths. For reference, most chapters in this game are around 20 to 30 minutes, and the only other chapter that comes close to this is, of course, the next one. And the final chapter, though, that has the excuse of having the final boss and a bunch of cutscenes. Our first encounter is... oh boy. Who wants to fight Greg and Jeff on small platforms? No? Too bad, that's how this chapter starts. Put you in the femur breaker. Jesus. I didn't hit him? Oh my god. This is the first verse in the chapter, and it does not go well, but I mean, hey, it can't be that bad, right? Out of anything on Infinite Climax, this fight right here is the demoralizer. 2 Grace and Glories followed by 3 more. So at the start of this chapter, within 2 verses, we have to fight a total of 7 Grace and Glories. Good lord. Trying to do a combo of any kind in this fight feels a lot like this. I I get the shit beat out of me so bad, I reset the chapter and re-equip Eternal Testimony. Not like I was using the butterflies anyway. This time I'm actually able to beat the first pair without taking much damage. I'm even able to pull one in them with Kolshilda at one point. That's much better. Start the next fight. Skip the cutscene. Not like that! And it still goes poorly because the mental stress of fighting 7 goddamn Garian gamers in a row is absurdly high. This is incredibly fucking annoying. Yeah, you gonna spin to win at me? How about this? Applaud. Or the evil monster is dead. I'm barely able to make it through the encounter. If I'm being totally honest, more uses of Heal Stomp were probably needed in this fight than what I did to get myself some breathing room. But hey, hindsight's a bitch that way. At least after this brutal beatdown, we can fight a couple of affinities to cool off, but that's only for a few seconds. This chapter's just getting started with the pain. Up here, Bayonetta finds her lipstick, and upon picking it up, Luca snaps a few photos. There's nothing on them, so Bayonetta decides to show Luca how to properly use lipstick.
What the?
I've often seen a girl without lipstick, but lipstick without a girl?
Bayo then shows Luca some concern before he shoots back, wondering why she should care about his well-being at all. He says he can take care of himself during Vigor's Festival of Resurrection, which never really comes up again, by the way, as it's increased security. But Bayonetta just zones out and thinks about the little girl she saw earlier. It's okay, girl, I get it. Then gets another brain telegram from the voices saying that she needs to save the girl to save herself. Remember, kids, never listen to the voices, they aren't on your side. Afterwards, Luca once again accuses Bayonetta of killing his father. Sorry, his.
You may be standing right in front of me, but you're definitely not living in reality. Which is a shame, because the truth is always going to be the truth.
Yeah, but you don't have the right truth. You just have the made-up truth that you don't know about because you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass kid. Bayo then decides to saunter over to Luca, flustering him and making him reference several video game women in a row.
Whoa, whoa! What are you gonna do? Kill me in plain sight? Go ahead. It would only prove everything I've said about you. Well, that and sadden the hearts of a number of young ladies. Claire, and Trish, and Sylvia, and Amy. Oh, you don't want to...
Bayonetta then tackles him to stop Luca from getting the studio sued for copyright infringement. Oh, and to save him from getting crushed by this massive pillar. And I hope everyone enjoyed their break, because Fearless is here to make its full introduction. Like I said before, they're very similar to Fairness with most of the same moves. The difference being is that they have some electric attacks in this tail move that is much easier to dodge than half of its kit. And of course, it's accompanied by a Fairness, because eat shit. Overall, this is technically much easier than 7 Grace and Glories in a row, but it really doesn't feel like it, thus resulting in another death. We also get to see how goddamn fast Fairnesses are. Look at that shit, it crossed the whole arena. Fuck off. He just got out of a recovery state and immediately attacked. God, I hate these enemies. I've changed my mind. They still suck. It's okay, because at the end of the day, much like when I play the old fighting games, my brain will be processing what we learned today, and then tomorrow maybe we'll do better. I mean, I know as I go I'll be getting better, obviously, but sometimes the brain needs a little bit of a break. But we get through it, and the game gives us another break by having us fight some applause and affinities. Before going over here and using this magic wheel to switch it to night. It allows us to jump into this and freefall, going through a lot of deers and decorations along the way. And imagine if you couldn't turn Lust's ability off if you were a witch. One bad night and you're going to the moon. But we land and we're greeted by 3 joys. Kamiya, did we do something to you? Did something bad happen at the office? Why do you hate us so much on this level? I can taste the hatred because I kill one of the joys but fail to notice when one of them begins to split into another, so what just takes its place like nothing ever happened? Which, as expected, results in this. This section is like that one Yakuza Heat action where the guy gets his taint stomped, except I do not enjoy it and there's 3 angel women doing it at once. Again, in hindsight, probably should have busted out Shiraba or Saifung, but what can you do? You can't go back to the past. No one's there anymore. Also, this Joy's a real shit with the whip. You fucking stop that. What? Jesus Christ. That Joy did not want to die. That was getting really annoying. There we go. But after taking half my health, we beat them, and now harmonies are properly introduced to the game. Hope you're still dodging after these intros end. But after the last 20 godforsaken minutes, this is a breath of fresh air. A bottle of ice-cold water to the man lost in the desert dying of thirst. Being able to just bully some basic-ass enemies is so nice after the nightmares we've been experiencing. But we're not done. We're only halfway through. After that, we head up to this tower, having to slam one on the button here, because if Bayonetta falls from high enough, she does a slam attack, which is never helpful outside of the set pieces that use it. Inside, we find Ardor's intro, and there's only 2 of them, but that's still a massive threat. That's not right, something's wrong. He's a bitch, you know that? Did he still hit me even though I smacked him with a Wicked Weave? You bastard. Which almost kills me, but since this game has health gating like in God Hand, I'm left with 1. Spoilers, it did not matter here. Those harmonies are lucky we're fighting at an awkward angle. It's a really long challenge. You do all the challenge portals. Well, I haven't even found all the challenge portals, so no, I haven't done Angel Slayer at all then. Thought that was like the name of the 2D demake that was made for Bayonetta. Okay. You guys are getting very annoying. "61 fights with no healing." That sounds like misery. Getting to the top, we had to face another Fearless, and the mental strain from streaming Bayonetta on Infinite Climax for 3.5 hours is getting to me, as is this level. God, I fucking hate this enemy. Changed my mind, you are the worst enemy in this game. I'm just gonna do a bite attack that comes out way faster than it actually looks. Yep, thanks, Kamiya. Take breaks, kids. You'll thank yourselves later. We then climb further up the tower, now on the outside, as this angel that's been alluded to tries to kill us. Almost pulls it off, too. Not today! But here we get to meet the Angel Inspired. These guys are mini-bosses that rarely show up, and guess what? They're easier than Grace and Glory, and Fairness and Fearless. They shoot fireballs and whip their tails at you. That's about it. Main reason they get me is because they're so fast on Infinite Climax, sometimes they don't even animate to shoot their fireballs. Very cool, Platinum. I am able to get revenge by popping the counter QTE, and thanks to my turbo buttons, it looks like this. Punch! Then we hit the climax as we summon Malphas again to consume Worm. And guess what? this level is still going. And what could be better than fighting the same thing we just fought a minute ago? Because here's another inspired, and then died because I wanted to try and kill it fast with Sharaba and got very careless. Hey, you guys like walks of shame? You're really sending me back down the bottom of the staircase? But why? Well, we refight the inspired, and I learned very quickly that it does not like to stop attacking. Like, it just goes. Look, Jesus Christ. After that, we hop over this gate and get a preview of the next boss. And if you thought this chapter was over after all that struggling, well, prepare to burn at the stake because Jean is here. The angels then chastises her for interfering, but she yells back at them for interfering too. Average day at the office. Bayonetta then asks who Jean is, adding this.
And don't you dare say my long-lost sister.
Jean, of course, scoffs at that idea and says that the two of them were once battled over the jewel upon the Umbran crown. Whatever that means, we don't really know yet. Lots of pieces are still missing from this puzzle, and I think Kamiya ate some of them when I wasn't looking. But enough talk! Fight scene time! Is this Devil May Cry 3? Guys, I love video games.
These cretins fouled it all up again.
Oh, that was me in college. And now we start Jean 2. I always forget this fight is here because did you see the rest of this chapter? That, and also because this fight is basically identical to her first in terms of mechanics. The main difference is that now Jean has set pieces. And the mental advantage of not having to stream this game for 3.5 hours in Infinite Climax and going through this chapter, which, yeah. She does seem a bit faster here, but I checked. She's not. This snap where she summons a weave is the exact same speed as her first fight. Pretty much everything except from the first fight applies here, but I do recommend dodging directly after a cutscene because Jean really likes to attack right after them. Honestly, it's because of that which causes me to forget about this fight's existence. It's not like it isn't hard, it is, but it's not as memorable a fight since it's another hard fight in a chapter filled with them. I would like to give a shout out to Jean's QTE, which is absolutely absurd without turbo buttons. If you can mash this hard, good for you. Even I failed it because I didn't expect a second round of mashing. Look at me go, forgetting that there's two parts of that, not just one. Nothing in life matters. But we finally beat Jean, and she says this is a waste of time because we're not ready yet. Thanks. The platform we're standing on then collides with a statue and Jean runs off by turning into a lynx, and then moths. Wow. This is where the game formally introduces us to the Beast Within mechanics, which we've already been using thanks to the magic of New Game Plus. After Bayonetta uses Panther Within, she's quite impressed with herself and then jumps in front of the moon. We can finally breathe as Chapter 5 ends. And that's where I stopped for the night because goddamn, 50 minutes of the longest and most difficult level in the game followed by the second longest? No thanks. New day, new chapter. This chapter's starting off spicy because we have to fight some on-fire affinities and Ardors. I instantly switched to having Durga on my hands, but they still hurt me because you need it on both hands and feet for it to work. I also learned later it's possible to knock the fire off of the enemies with enough damage, but that was much later. This encounter frustrated me enough to reset the chapter, and I swapped out Eternal Testimony for Evil Harvest Rosary. This accessory is something you'll see quite commonly on Infinite Climax playthroughs, as it allows you to dodge like you'd activate Witch Time, but instead you leave behind a bomb. This combined with Durga's fire bombs make quick work of the Ardors, though my combo suffers for it, but that could be for another run. come on over. Come on over to my minefield. I made it. Patent pending. Come over here. Oh. Then use Panther Within to enter into the next room where we see the child from earlier, somehow deeper into the ruins. But we'll be worrying about that later because it's time to fight two Inspireds at once. And I think I put it best when this fight happened. Oh, this is annoying. That's especially annoying. I love getting shot at from off screen in these games. It's my favorite thing that happens. You know, this enemy is on my shit list effective immediately. Really, it's because of the speed buff these guys get on Infinite Climax, making it damn near impossible to continue attacking them from close range once you drag them from the sky. This is what you get. A little underwhelming, but alright. I mean, I guess I'll take it. But we get through it, navigate through some traps, and fight some applauds. Frames? You gonna be okay? There we go, we're fine. Then now, we fight Gracious and Glorious. Well, it was a good run, guys. It was a good run. These two are Grace and Grace, but on crack. They are much faster, hit way harder, and are immune to witch time. Wait, that part doesn't matter on this difficulty. I highly recommend avoiding slower weapons against these two, as they will cross the room in half a second if they choose so. Hell, even the wiki suggests as much, though I'd still say you can use Scarborough Affair if you keep using Dodge Offset. Where'd that wicked heal even go? I'm confused, where did it go? They were definitely close enough to get hit by it, they just didn't. Through the fear that gives men wings, we're able to beat Gregness and Morbius without getting hit once. Even I was surprised at this feat. I didn't get hit. I'm surprised I didn't get hit. Guess I just expected it to be really bad and my brain actually turned on. We then bully some affinities and see that the area we came to is now covered in poison. But we're able to leap over the gap and see that something has taken the affinity's interest. And we can't have that now, can we?
Are you hiding something from me? Come on.
See, when Bayonetta is controlling herself and not being controlled by me, she's the best fighter in the room at all times.
You've been cheating on me, haven't you? Someone else caught your eye?
We then approach the child, which Bayonetta doesn't really want to do, but the voices remind us we should probably protect them. So we do just that and have an out-of-body experience, leading to what is one of my favorite lines in the game.
I'm not normally one to play savior, but I suppose I can make an exception and kill all of you. Just this once, of course.
We now have to protect the child with weird transparent materials on everyone, so it's much harder to see. I get beat quite a bit here, but I'm able to max out the combo multiplier, so that's fun. Keep in mind the angels will go for Bayonetta's body, so you have to protect it or you will lose. But it's just some affinities and applauds, so you'll be fine. Can we stop this, please? My god, there are a lot of you. There we go. I was gonna say, there has to be at least one of you left, right? Shit. Here we go, there's a big one. It wouldn't be complete without John Big Angel. After the fight, Bayonetta slowly comes to, apparently singing a lullaby.
Was I just singing?
The little girl she saved also starts calling her mummy, much to her chagrin.
But, Mummy...
Will you quit calling If there's two things I hate in this world, it's cockroaches and crying babies. Well, a crying baby cockroach would be truly terrible.
We're then able to get the child's name, Cereza. She also seems to have very similar red ribbons in her hair. Not sure who she is yet. We then ask her a few more questions.
Who are you, little one? Where are you from?
I'm from my house.
Alright, great, thanks. But we do learn she is looking for her daddy who asked her to come here. So since she's hell-bent on finding him, we decide to escort her out.
I'll help you out of here, but that's all.
Though not without some conditions.
And you have to promise there'll be no crying. A single tear and you'll be crying alone. Got it?
Okay, Mummy.
That, we start the game's only escort quest. The most awkward sections of the game. Overall, it's not that bad, though the first verse we have to do it only lets us damage the enemies with these lampposts. It's just really awkward and annoying, but it's not that difficult. Oh my god, dude. The fact that you drop the pole every time you dodge fucking sucks. Second one, though, we have to run away from a beloved while busting through gates while protecting Cereza. Don't forget you have to get a good combo for going for pure platinum. It's rough, plain and simple. Come on, we can get through this. We can get through this eventually. Oh my god. Does this section need to be this long? After that, we walk into a Paradiso gate. Seems like a bad idea, but okay. And we have to fight some more angels.
Mommy.
Don't worry. It's always scary the first time you see them.
Let's go, traumatize the child. She's now deaf. We did it! Yay!
Cereza, my dear, watch and learn.
And that last section fucked me up, but I only get better when my health is low, so it didn't even matter. I will say, you can see Evil Harvest Rosary doing work, but not a lot. I'm likely going to stick to using Eternal Testimony on my next playthrough. After we deal with all the angels, we approach the beloved from earlier, and it can apparently summon meteors. We dodge them, but it's able to break the barrier around Cereza and pick her up. And, yeah, I don't have too much more to add aside from this beloved has a few more moves, but if you've been practicing dodge offset, you should be fine. Don't worry about hitting Cereza, you can't get her by accident, so go nuts. After we beat it, we hit the climax, summon Gamora, which causes the beloved to quickly toss Cereza away to protect her. And then this happens. Rip Bozo. But, that's not Bayonetta. It's a fake! So we give chase. Fake summons lasers, and pro tip, do not use Panther Within to chase faster. It can't escape and you'll just get hit because it spawns more lasers. But we get there and stop the fake with no guns? And Cereza's missing? I'm sure this won't mean anything later on. Where's the Cereza model as well? What's... Are we chasing a ghost? What's going on? But despite that, Bayonetta and her fake decide to have a serve-off. Is this what women fighting looks like? We then start fighting it, and it doesn't die. It's supposed to, and then trigger a cutscene, and it just didn't. That's not a good omen for the future of this playthrough. Well, I mean, I showed her what for on like literally 1 health, so I guess good for me? I can't have shit in this house. Well, we quickly reboot and... Thanks, Kamiya. Very cool checkpoint. But we fight the fake, this time triggering the next cutscene, and it was a joy all along.
I love it.
This video game is not for children. Jesus Christ. But it's just one joy, and if you've been paying attention, you know that's not a big deal at all. Bitch. Yeah, seriously, one joy is not that big a deal, but if there's 2 or 3, it gets really bad. Then find another Paradiso gate and head through it. Here we find Cereza with Luca. He's very surprised Bayonetta would have a kid, and she responds like this.
Come now, Cheshire. Look at me. Do I look like I have any interest in children? Now making them? Well, that's another story.
Calm down. Calm down. After getting flustered, Luca then says the only way to get farther into Vigrid, where an important island is by taking a specific bridge. Though before we can ask more about it, Luca then accuses us of putting some kind of spell on Cereza and murdering her parents, just like Luca thinks we did to his... But we inside to decide to leave Cereza with Luca, since she'd be a lot safer with the guy that doesn't have to fight angels every 2 minutes. And speaking of, Cereza warns Bayonetta about the angels behind her, and she quickly jumps back into Purgatorio to fight them. The bridge explodes and Luca gets himself and Cereza out of there. And we notice that Cereza is able to see us.
How can she see me?
Damn it, I still can't figure out who she is! We'll have to answer that later as Chapter 6 comes to a close. We only got 1 game over, and that was because I had to reboot the game, and then it's just like, haha, gotcha! Inside of this giant tornado is our next boss, Temperantia. This cutscene also has one of my favorite clips of the game.
I feel like a fucking celebrity in this town.
After that, Bayonetta lies on a statue of a Fearless as Temperantia begins talking about how the universe came to be, the world being split into light, dark, and chaos, and how the angel's goal is to revive the creator and reunify the Trinity of Realms. If your eyes glazed over at that, don't worry, Bayonetta doesn't care either. Boss fight time! Temperantia is an interesting fight as you're basically fighting a giant set piece rather than a character. It first starts off by shooting the platform you're on, and if there's a glow under your feet, keep dodging. After a few times, you'll see another platform show up next to yours. Hop over there before you get shredded. After a few rounds of this, Temperantia will begin to punch one of the platforms you're on. Dodging this will let you jump over to this tanker and be able to recreate the end of License to Kill. Then hop over, and instead of doing extra damage, I tried to jump on him to go to the next phase. A little embarrassing, but what can you do? After he recovers, Temp throws another punch and we dodge. This one has the QTE, and now we're on the next phase. His arm. We climb up it, avoiding the weird wind serpents as we go, but then we get hit by these projectiles I didn't know about. Yeah, watch out for these, they are really goddamn fast. And after beating the arm joint, we summon the giant fists and rip it off. Now that Temp only has one arm, he resorts to punching us, which didn't work out in his favor at all. And now also grab the platform and summon wind serpents on it, shoot with a single finger, and even shoot eye beams. I then decide to switch to Sergei's lover since Bayo 1 is the only game it's in, and instantly get punished for doing such a foolish thing in the middle of a boss fight. The way you'll use it well is by doing normal combos, and since they mimic your moves, they help your combo multiplier get up very quickly. Sadly, in terms of actual damage, they don't do much, so I really should have stuck to Eternal Testimony. Even trying to turn it off didn't go well. Much like last time, we rip his arm off, and now we hop onto Temp's body for the final phase. This one is weird, as you have to go to these weak points to destroy parts of his body, which destroy the shield around his head. Here you can actually see Sergei's lever doing something, but not much. If you're going to use it, don't use it in boss fights, especially not this one. The weak points here are much like the ones in the arms. Dodge the spears they summon and you'll be good to fight the head. And the head, oh boy. This part fucked me up. His eye beams and these spears he summons last a little too long to be dodged normally most of the time, so you'll have to use Panther Within to dodge instead. Bat Within also gives you enough time to dodge the rest as well. Also summon a Wind Serpent and fire a beam from his head, but these you can dodge normally, so these ones are much less dangerous. Can you chill out, bro? Jesus, he has so many fucking attacks. I have the toolkit, I'm gonna use the toolkit. It wasn't perfect, but I'll take it. Finally, we deplete his health and hit the climax. Summon the arms of Hecatonkir and pulverize Temperantia. Alright. Hit him with the Muda! Ugly. After that, we successfully turned Temp into one of those flying Nars from Serious Sam, but we're not quite done yet. Take this Fearless, yeet it at Temp, and decide blowing him up is the best course of action. After all, why not send someone to hell with a fireworks show? A reminder that penis is banned in Bayonetta 1. But with that, Temperantia gets dragged to Inferno. Bayonetta gazes towards the island further invigorated that Luca had mentioned. She has a flashback seeing countless Umbran witches dead. Then we finish chapter 7. Good. Fuck those enemies, they suck. Oh my god, there she is. She's back. She's kind of hanging out. Not really doing anything. Yeah, it's gonna be probably a bronze. Yep. But it's not a stone award, so well, I'll take that. That title probably comes off a little more cruel than I intended, but it is true. Chapter 8 is a gimmick level, which is a bit jank, and don't worry, there will be another gimmick level. Just you wait. We find ourselves on the bridge, Luca mentioned, and just as Bayonetta is starting to complain about how long the walk will be, Luca and Cereza drive by in a car, so we decide to hitch a ride. I wonder if he even really knows what happened.
Did you see that?
Mummy saved us.
What?
Hello there, Cheshire.
Yo, what up?
Shit!
Come on, man, I just got here. Don't crash now. We chat about how we're both heading to the island since the main building Tina has most likely is home to the gemstone that Bayonetta is after. And wherever Bayonetta goes, Luca goes too. That's just how it works. Now, before we can get too cozy, the bigger police are after us.
Put your foot down, Cheshire. I'll take care of our pest problem.
He looks so sad. They're apparently hiring angels too. Damn, the economy's in shambles if even God is paying the angels so poorly they have to get a second job. Maybe that's why Lucifer rebelled. Oh cool, this level sucks! Yeah, this first verse is rough, and no, you're not crazy. You can barely make out the indicator on the ground because of the bloom and saturation. The main difficulty of this part is trying to stay on all the vehicles, since not only are they all slightly moving around, but you'll have to be jumping between them to get to the angels. Falling off doesn't instantly kill you, luckily, but you still take damage, so, you know, you don't want to fall off if you can help it. This is a good time to shout out the technique Umbran Spear, as by double tapping your lock-on button while in Crow Within, you can dart straight to an enemy for the cost of 1 magic orb. Even if you're not using Eternal Testimony, that cost is basically nothing. Sadly, this is another thing I didn't know about in this playthrough, but my idea of using Colsherda instead worked out just as well. You get attacked by some droid lasers, hop off to face them, and... you are not the enemies that did that. You are very scary, actually. Aw, shit. You know, sometimes life has to remind you that pain is part of being human, and that's what this section is. Pain. See, while fighting 3 gracious and glorious at once is already hard, there's also cars. And there is no indication that the car is coming. Best you can do is angle the camera towards them, which is not reliable, or try to launch the group up into the air, which is also not reliable. The best option is to lead them into the shoulder on the side, but then you run the risk of the camera blocking your view. Honestly, all of your available options in this fight are ass. It is, without a doubt, one of the most difficult verses in the game. If you're able to pure platinum this, hats off to you. You're a true Umbran witch. I feel like the majority of the damage I've taken in this fight has been from the cars. It really isn't fair. God, I hate how they can just dodge so much. Stop. Cars. As for me, I died several times before deciding to reset the level. This was actually not that hard. Well, good for you. Guess who I'm not? You. Fucking hell, dude. This sucks. This is why I knew this level was gonna be ass. Me and my chat then came to this realization about this verse. It'd be nice if they also took car damage as well. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? Jesus Christ, it'd be great if the game was just like, look out, bro, here comes a car, but no. that's not happening at all. Because why would you get any aid? You just have to psychically know that a car is about to hit you. Bye. Guys, do we actually like this game, or are we just using it as an excuse to bully Kamiya? Let's be real here. Do we like this game, or is it Stockholm Syndrome? Exactly. We run it back. I equip the rosary again. Thank you, car. Very cool. God. Hurry up. You should. Wait, did they actually get hit by the car? I hit the edge. Oh. There we go. Where's he going? I love Cars. I love Cars the movie by Pixar that got 2 fucking sequels for some shitty ass reason. He's just running away. And after getting sent all the way to 1 health, we finally beat them. Fuck this verse. Well, at least we got through it, but fuck those enemies. Up next, we got Angel Car. Irenic is its name, and of course, it hits us with a QTE because this is the 2000s and there's no safety in cutscenes.
Time to go boom!
Welcome to the gimmick. Yeah, having 1 health will do that to you. So we now have 2 verses of driving, and I'm gonna be honest, it's not bad, but it's pretty jank. No damage. Are we sure? Are we 100% on that? But hey, at least we get to listen to this bawling version of Afterburner. It's almost like part of the game just isn't coded well. It's almost like this is an offshoot that was probably made by a whole individual small team. It's like, yeah, I remember the motorcycle bit more than I remember a lot of parts of Bayonetta 2, but like, that doesn't mean it's a good thing. Something to note is that you don't take damage from colliding with things even though it looks like you are. This section fucking sucks. The amount of times I have fallen through the floor in that one area is immeasurable. It sucks. This shit just don't... Oh, there it is. There it is. We got it, boys. We got it. We did it. We did it. This section's ass. God damn you, Kamiya. Let's go, Broken Bayo. 10 out of 10. Game sucks. Let's try to stick to the right. There we go. But after a few minutes, we get another cue to eat. Meet up with Luca and then direct him to safety as we intercept the Brave chasing him. Where do you think you're going, Tubby? The Buster Kick!
I know you don't want me here, but you really could have been more subtle about it.
This finally gives the Braves their intro, and I instantly deleted them. We'll see if I can immediately delete one of them again. I don't know. Never mind, I did. Wicked Weaves go burr. Damn, son, they didn't get to play at all. Jesus Christ. But after that, the bridge collapses and we fall into a heavenly portal. Guys, I can't believe Bayonetta's fucking dead. We only died one time, and that was because of the fucking shitty start section, so, you know. I don't know why you're acting so shocked, Bayonetta. We've been to Paradiso like 3 times by now. So this chapter, as well as the next, is basically filler. We have a lot more flashbacks, which we'll be getting into, but nothing really concrete or important happens. To wave a bit from Civ 11, a lot of these assets are copy and pasted, whole rooms, buildings, so it gets a little repetitive. Sure, there's plenty of new things happening, like this mini planet you fight on, or this platforming section, and of course, the ball. But since Paradiso is just figurated in space, and you're running through levels you've done but backwards, it feels as the same at times, though it's not nearly as bad as some games I've played. What I do notice is that right around here, some of the fights aren't that bad. Don't get me wrong, it's Infinite Climax, so it's still hard, but a lot of the verses don't brutalize you like the first half of the game. This might be because a lot of these levels have more gimmicks than they realize, hey, if someone has to do this like 500 times trying to get the best rank, then maybe we should at least chill out with some of these encounters. Going back to the start of this chapter, we first fight an on-fire Ardor and some applauds. Since the Ardor is the only enemy on fire, I just stick to Scarborough Fair and bully a lot of them with the leaves. Come here. There we go. Next fight, we fight some more Applause and Affinities on this little planet I mentioned earlier. It's really surprising to me, honestly, that we're only fighting like just normal affinities right now, as opposed to like all of the other shit the game can throw at me. Like, it just feels weird, because we've been playing on this difficulty, and the game's just been like, haha, here's a bunch of joys and grace and glories, have fun. And it's not doing that right now, and I'm really scared, because that means some horrible shit's like right around the corner. Hey. But after that we get the ball. Your Honor, Bayonetta will never be ballin'. Chases us down the snake statue from Chapter 5 and we get attacked by lightning, which, surprisingly, will activate which time it dodged. I suspect this is because getting a pure platinum here might be really hard without it, since the ball is so quick at chasing you, and you need a pretty decent combo if you want to get that rank. It is kind of funny, it doesn't let you do torture attacks, but I know why, which is because it would you would be very stuck. Oh jeez. But we outrun Ball. been on a pole for a bit, and then Ball gets mad at Kingdom Hearts fans. Time to open some chests! Be careful, because not only is the Angel Ball going to try and crush you in the center of the area, but some of the chests have Gracious and Glorious inside of them. Try to hit the chest from a distance with a weave, or you're going to get hit. You should also take it slow and only open one chest at a time, that way you only have to fight one Gracious and Glorious at a time. Spawns based on chest destruction. I see. Oh my god. Okay, we're gonna go back over here. We take out the Galleon gems, and the last chest has a Fearless in it. Oh, god damn it. I'd like to mention my favorite part about this is the ball constantly trying to hit you, and even if it misses, the shockwave can still stumble you, even if you dodge, thus fucking up your dodge offset. It's just annoying, that's all. Please! Yeah, uh-huh. Ah, jeez. Feels like no matter what I do, that section just... Okay. And now it's boat time!
Looks like someone had a little trouble parking their boat.
These are kinships, also known as boat. They're the most annoying enemies in the game. They're hard to reach and are constantly shooting missiles at you, but once you get to them, they'll start attacking with grabby hands, and since this is Infinite Climax, all of this is much faster than you'd expect. Oh, and don't forget you can get shot at from off-screen. What? I later discovered that the move Umbran Portal Kick is actually really effective against the boats, as it gives you a few precious invincibility frames on startup. So do what I didn't and actually use it. I don't care about combos, I just want you dead. Next we jump down here and smash some tentacles and... Thank you, Kamiya. Very cool. We weren't able to survive 3 Joys very suddenly attacking like that, but on the way back, I do explain why showing the struggles on this difficulty is so important. Will say, I do think the important thing to do when I'm editing through these videos is just to showcase the struggle, because I think a lot of people see a playthrough on these difficulties, just like people getting like the highest rank possible, and like, yeah, that's pretty impressive. And nobody really understands the struggle of just trying to do it, and then it discourages them from attempting it themselves. Honestly, I think me going through this has been really encouraging to me to try these games on higher difficulties, even though I have been struggling. And I hope that showcasing that off will make people attempt these games on higher difficulties as well. And after those words of possible encouragement, we finish off the Joys. Then do one more platforming section with the ball. I still have a great time with it. Okay, very funny game. And then we finally fight the ball. It's actually Golem, an angelic construct that shapeshifts. And it's fast. What you'll want to do is dodge and get some quick hits in on the core while it's vulnerable afterburner kick. But don't be afraid to hit the body as well, because once it fully lights up, it'll collapse, thus allowing you to go to town in the core. Be careful, as the body reassembling will count as an attack. Keep forgetting that that's a fucking attack too, even though it really shouldn't be. Really, if you've gotten this far, you can face Golem with little issue. Just keep dodge offsetting and you're golden. I was hoping I would have gotten more out of that than I did. Alright, can we stop fighting the Legos, please? This is Golem a special. We hit the climax. Hope everybody likes volleyball. Oh. Yeah, I didn't like volleyball anyways. But with that, we've finally beaten the first Paradiso chapter. And hey, only one death. Not bad. Part of that bronze award is because I died. The other part of it is because I didn't do any of the secret verses, but whatever. Yep, we're still in Paradiso, but now we're in the old Umbran training grounds from before. Bayonetta then realizes she's been to Vigrid before and finds a carving on the ground with the names Jean and Cereza on the bottom. Damn it, I still can't figure out who the child is! But we don't have time for contemplation because we're getting jumped by the tentacle squad. Yeah.
Tentacles? Why did it have to be tentacles?
And no time to think again, because we're getting jumped by the Joy Squad. You know how this goes. This is the nth time we fought this many Joys at once. Though it is around this time I noticed that the verses were the same as the ones on hard mode, and it was really throwing me off my game, resulting in me losing a lot of health. Oh, I didn't dodge offset correctly. That's unfortunate. Can you not? Not where I wanted that to go. Okay. Hey, Bayonetta, the enemy's over there. What you doing? Honey. Honey, what are you doing? Alright, great. Yeah, what a shock. 3 Joys took away over half my health. Who would have figured? 5,850 damage. Yep, seems about right. But I bear it and jump down to fight some harmonies. Is that one just stuck? Okay, there we go. Free chainsaw. Not that I'm gonna use it, but with free chainsaw. Afterwards, we have to destroy several magic walls around us so we can progress, but every time I approached one, more enemies spawned in. First it's harmonies, and then it's... Oh, god damn it. At least it's only 2 of them for once. Though that's all the game needs to thrash me. Though funny enough, it does let me refight them instantly instead of having to do the whole verse again. Fuck you. I'm sick of fighting Prime Warframes. Can we stop this already? Sadly, these two get me again, and I opt to restart the chapter. The Joys mess me up again, but switching to Sci-Fung helps a bit. The camera, however, does not. I can't see. Camera's really not helping me out here. Camera's really not helping me out here. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of bullied that Joy in the corner. Yeah, yeah, actually, if you can get in with this, it kind of works out pretty well. You then refight the Harmonies and refight Jerry and John, this time using Sci-Fung, and surprisingly, they get quite easily stun-blocked with it. Actually torture attack them. Oh my god, it actually is working. Holy shit, is this the secret sauce? Just bully them with the nunchucks? This is going to be exactly like me playing through DMC3 and using Nevin, isn't it? The difference being here is that I didn't use Nevin not because it was hard to attain, but because it was very strange. Wow. Yeah, guys, the gunchucks, they kind of fuck. Yeah, this is pretty great. After that, we finally restore this pole so that we can now spin this whole city block and move forward. Though some harmonies almost jump me to death. Yeah, these aren't so good against these guys, honestly. You fucking not. These guys are just kind of annoying. No, I get it. Guys, does Bayonetta gaslight gatekeep girl boss? Does she do all three of those things? Which isn't great because surprise, Fortitudo is back. This free fight is much easier than the original fight, as he only has his attacks from his first phase, and since that later encounter gave me a surplus of magic, I decided to spend it. Good fight. Good fight. Though I probably should have saved a bit of magic because now Temperantia wants a rematch. Again, he's very similar to his first phase, though now he likes to shoot a big laser and shove his face right up to you. Okay. Again, I attempted to use Sifung against him, but I must reiterate, it is not good for bosses, though I do end up humiliating Temp. Okay, great, cool. Yeah, we did it. Good work. He's dead. Hopping through church, we find some more enchants, and this is where Sifung shines. Though the enchants are little bastards and get a hit in before I'm done with them. Alright. You get extra bullied. Board of church now, time to head out. And it's triple boat time! Why'd it have to be kinships? Fuck! Dude, can we please just chill out with this shit? Oh my god. Stop. Ugh. They get me down to 1 health again, but I'm able to survive. I'm not able to survive the preceding salt and pepper encounter, though. Alright. Just bully the fuck out of them with Tamlung, you know. Sorry, Tamlung's the other version. The gunchucks. Jesus. Okay. Fuck's sake, man. We then get them on the run back, and now we cut over to Luca and Cereza hanging out in the forest.
What happened to Mummy?
Yes.
Well, you see, she just went to look for something, that's all.
She got sent to reused asset land. She'll be back soon, though. Luca is apparently convinced that Bayonetta put Cereza under a spell. Before Cereza starts crying, Luca hands her a lollipop that he just summons with a snap of his fingers. He doesn't even know what it is.
What is this? It's yummy.
I don't know. It's candy. Strawberry, I think?
My man, you bought the damn candy. But then Luca asks about the doll Cereza has, and she says its name is Cheshire. Luca doesn't like that.
He's cute, isn't he?
Cheshire. What a stupid name.
But after pondering how they're going to get to the island, Luca asks Cereza if Bayonetta really is her mom. She says she is, and that she also fights scary monsters, which Luca responds with saying she probably doesn't know who the real monsters are. And someone get this man a mirror, because he really needs to repeat that into it. Oh yeah, the chapter isn't over yet. Well, we get past some floor traps and show everyone the secret wall, and then we fight some pissful loves. And thanks to the camera, I sink into the piss instead of piss in the sink. You know, that was terrible. Can we just cut that? I swapped back to Scarborough Fair, which works far more than Sci-Fung did. As expected, really. But after going through 4 beloved, now an Inspire decides it also needs to be here. And then another one. I'll put up with you. And another one. And another. Okay, there's only 3, but I had you going for a sec, didn't I? And with that, we finally get to the exit of Paradiso, and our filler trip is over. 0 out of 10 would not recommend as a spot through the Trinity of Realms. I was getting a lot of gold medals, but I was dying way too much, because fuck some of the enemies in that level.
I'm here.
What are you gonna do? Luckily for these two, Bayonetta is here to save the day. Not that Luca can see, but Cereza can. So, Cereza casts a little spell on her glasses and hands them to Luca. And with them, Luca can now see that Bayonetta has been fighting angels all along. This makes Luca realizes that maybe when his died, Bayonetta might not have been the one to do it. The scene does look pretty similar. Well, that part's new.
Shit!
See, Luca? She's been looking out for you all along. Alright, Chapter 11. What do you got for me? Some affinities and an Ardor? Well, that's fairly straightforward after the last level, but that's because this is a boss level. Bye-bye. And as it appears, the ground explodes and Luca springs into action to save Bayonetta. You tried, Luca. But he is able to save Cereza from being impaled. Though Cheshire's not so lucky. Bayonetta goes to save him instead. That doesn't go so well. But we all know she's okay. Dusts off Cheshire and decides she should punish the one who hurt him. And the perpetrator? This chapter's boss, Justitia. No preamble, we're skipping straight to beating it to death.
Let's rock, baby!
And that's kind of difficult to do, because hot damn, Justitia is fast. It constantly bashes and swings at you with incredible speed, so dodge offset is going to be a must, but it's not only that. It likes to spray up Poison Frog, which since it's a forward-facing projectile, it's quite hard to judge your distance, especially since it sweeps back and forth on the platform you're on. Speaking of, much like Temperantia's fight, Justitia has a few times where you'll have to leap off the platform onto another one, so be careful. Unlike Temp's fight, it's not automatic, so you have to make the jump yourself. Failing the jump doesn't instantly kill you, but instead makes you do a QTE because it was the style at the time. But once we do enough damage, we jump onto one of Justitia's tentacles and run up it, avoiding the blades it creates on the way up. We then drop kick it in the face, which, gross. It's vulnerable now, but not defenseless, so be careful while you're attacking. Once the health bar is fully drained, Bayo chops off the tentacle. Once you land, Justitia starts throwing a fit and will start destroying all the platforms repeatedly, so keep moving. When it stops, it gets much more aggressive, spawning little tentacle plants and thrusting at you with its fucked up tentacle face. It's also goo it spits up that you have to avoid or it sticks you in place. I would like to remind everyone, Justitia is supposed to represent the virtue of justice. I'll be real, out of all the bosses, not counting the final boss because that one's special, this one gave me the most trouble. Everything I've said combined in such a way that I constantly struggle struggle to get in and deal damage without taking some myself. I think what I could have done was made more liberal use of heal slide to get closer, but I'd likely need to practice that a lot more to beat this guy without taking damage. Dude. It's like I really do have to just dodge after every single attack. Okay. I'm gonna restart the level, because Jesus Christ. Okay. Jesus Christ! Game sucks. I don't like this boss. It's too fast. It will not chill. Bayonetta blast. Oh my god. I knew it was coming too, and I still didn't have enough reaction to dodge it in time. Dude, seriously, this fucking boss needs to calm down. It's so fast. I think I hate this boss. I think I hate this boss. Sorry guys, I think this one sucks. It's too fast. But eventually, its second health bar gets low enough that Ancestry throws a boulder at us and we channel our inner Chris Redfield. Running up this tentacle is much the same, though there is a smaller, faster blade type that can catch you if you're not expecting it. After dropkicking the second phase, my objective goes from beating this guy to death to just surviving the chapter. Let's get this done. Let's get this done. Suffer. Okay, final health bar. We can do this. Fuck! I can do this, damn it. He throws another boulder at us. We punch it away, but I didn't expect the second boulder. Stop doing that, Kamiya. Okay, run it back. We get it again. This time. This time, get that second boulder. Run up the tentacle, drop kick it in the face, and destroy the final weak point. And with nothing left, Ancestry rushes at us, allowing us to hit the climax. This time he summoned the big old demon centipede, Scolopendra, which crushes Ancestry like the rotten fruit it is. Alright, get the hell out of here. After that, Bayonetta asks Cheshire if that's enough. And we both agree that it's not. Then Ancestry says that this was all as the Lumen Sage predicted, and that the two eyes, one of light and the other of dark, have watched over the world for eons. And with their power, this will allow the creator to start a new cycle of creation. And then it gets dragged to hell. Thanks for the lore dump, buddy. Bye! But instead of worrying about that, Bayo instead goes to look for Luca and Cereza, bringing the chapter to a close. So it's another stone award, baby. Let's go. It's another one. It's too fast. I don't like that fight. It's too fucking fast on every attack.
Just do anything?
Checking up on the gang, Luca hands Cereza back her glasses. Luca asks if Bayonetta has been fighting these monsters for a long time, and Cereza says that witches fight monsters to protect others.
Mummy is a witch, and witches protect people and are very strong. When I grow up, I'll be strong too, and I'll protect my mummy.
Luca doesn't believe her because why would an adult ever listen to a child? But it's okay, Bayonetta jump scares him.
I'm sure you will.
After the concussion, Bayo hands Cheshire back to Cereza, and Luca reruns his favorite accusations towards Bayonetta, though this time he explains his was obsessed with investigating the followers of darkness, the Umbran witches, and the followers of light, the Lumen sages. The two clans, using a power called the Eyes of the World, attempted to bring the world to peace, but then a pair of lovers between the two clans conceived a child. The woman was put in jail and the man was exiled, with the child remaining with the Umbra, being raised as an outcast. But with the balance of light and darkness lost, it led to a war between the two clans, as the Lumen attempted to seize both eyes, which, if united, are said to allow the wielder to control reality itself. This led to their mutual destruction, and now, their previous home of Vigrid was abandoned. That's where we are now, 500 years later. And since Luca's died chasing it, he hasn't given up his chase either. Nor has he given up making my job more difficult, it seems. But after his long exposition dump, we relax a little with Cereza. Bayonetta then asks Cereza if she has something that's really important to her, which has Cereza hand Bayonetta the watch she's been keeping, which is identical to the one Bayonetta has on her chest. I still can't figure out who she is, it's such a mystery! We then tell Cereza to keep what's important to her close to her heart, and then give the watch back. But we can't celebrate for long as another angel causes an explosion. Bayonetta cries out to warn Cereza, but just before she gets pancaked, Lucas swings in and saves the day. Kinda weird that Bayonetta couldn't just activate Witch Time to save her, but whatever. The two land on a plane and then quickly fall off. Cereza! Oh my god, there she goes! But I guess Bayonetta didn't get the memo because we're on the plane for our next chapter. That cutscene was like a quarter of this chapter, by the way. It's quite short. But is it still difficult? Oh, you bet your ass it is. The first verse starts off with John just beating the shit out of the plane we're in, followed by an Ardor and Infinity fight. These cramped spaces make it really difficult to see what you're doing. I can't see! I can't see! The camera does not like these areas. It's getting very upset. After that, we decide to rip off Uncharted 3 2 years before it came out. And after quickly getting back on board, we instantly take damage because the Force Witch time ended quicker than I expected. Okay, thanks, game. But the burst isn't over yet because here come 3 Gracious and Glorious. The knowledge of Sci-Funk being able to bully them pretty easily, these fights against Dead in Space go much smoother. You know, despite being able to bully the fuck out of these guys now with Sci-Funk, I'm still really scared. I'm being completely serious. Like that hasn't gone away. I suppose that's a good thing. The fear keeps me alert. Fuck. God, the stun. Get bullied. Get bullied. That's for tormenting me for so many levels. Save cannot be set against the randomly on fire Ardors in the same verse. I quickly swap onto double Durga and take them out, though it feels like it took 500 years to do so. I knew that was about to happen. Ooh, yeah, the fire enemies are new. The fire enemies are very new to that section. After that, the game gives us a break with some decorations, I believe. And then, it's time. John is back, and she's not crucifying around. She taunts Bayonetta about Cereza's safety, and that triggers another fight scene. I'm gonna die on this fight. I'm gonna die on this fight. John then prods Bayonetta about her reason for protecting Cereza before Bayonetta fires back by asking John about her own secrets, showing John the carving from earlier. John seems taken aback by it before tossing it aside, calling it junk, though something tells me it's not that at all. But after that chat, we're interrupted by Omega Blow. Once again, it reminds John about her task before John decides to do what I do when I get reminded about the task I was just about to do.
I am well aware of my task, but you have forgotten that I do not need your help.
Like, every time one of these guys shows up, Sean's just like, fuck off! She then taunts Bayonetta that Cereza is gone forever, thus initiating another fight. Wish we could use that more often, but we never get to do anything like that ever again. Midway through this, Jean tells Bayonetta to fill her eyes with hatred, proving that she's worthy of the left eye. We then get another message from the voices telling us they're protecting us before finally we start Jean's third fight. A lot of her rules from before apply once again, but now she has demonic summons she uses to occasionally attack us. And since they're made of her hair, it can be quite hard to see what's going on when they're around. We also learned that her dodge is really good compared to ours. What was going on in that corner? Did you guys see that? So funny enough, Sai-Fung is actually able to bully Jean just as well as it did against Grace and Glory. However, it's still Jean, and it's quite hard to keep her pinned down even with this. You'd think with this being such an open area it'd be easier to fight her, but because of her new attacks I kept my distance, which didn't help as much as I'd like and mostly just led to my death. Oh, by the way, you have to fight the decorations again every time you die to Jean. Very cool. Alright. Now this isn't all Jean has, because now she'll summon her motorcycle when she drops below her first health bar. So use it to drive back and forth trying to ram you with it, and this might be one of her easier attacks to avoid since it has a far slower windup, so it's actually reactable. Though slow in Infinite Climax is still pretty fast. And don't forget to watch out for her shooting at you sometimes when she stops. But once you do enough damage almost draining her second bar, the motorcycle explodes and we're back to fighting her on foot. Really, she doesn't last much longer against us since I was getting much better at figuring out what she was doing and using Sai-Fung to counter. We even hit her with the counter QTE. Alright, is she gonna do the second phase of this? No, she's not. After a long struggle, we finally beat her. You know what? That was actually a pretty good run of that fight. I'm going to take this time to give a shout out to that time when we originally streamed this on hard, and someone new came in and was just like, hey man, how's it going? Who's your favorite video game character? While I'm fucking struggling against Sean. It's like, this is not the time to ask this question. Bayonetta then jumps back inside to find Cereza, and Jean says the Bayonetta still isn't ready. But we'll worry about that later. This whole plane's coming down. Where's the small child? There she is. I don't know how she went from the wing of the plane to the storage locker, but we got her.
Time to go, little one. Hold on tight, okay?
Okay.
Time to get out of here. One more verse to stop us from having a good time though. Much like in chapter 6, we have to go and protect Cereza, except this time we have to manually set her down, jump out of our body to fight the angel stopping us. And not only that, but the plane is sinking, meaning we only have so long before... Yeah, that. Sai-Fung is cool, but it doesn't do enough damage quickly enough, so Scarborough Fair is coming back out again. I switched back and forth between them, though honestly I should have just busted out Sharaba, but I wasn't confident enough to use it right now. But right after our fight against some Ardors, which are once again randomly on fire, alright, get me out of this whack-ass fucking shitty level. I don't want to be in this section anymore, it sucks. We then have to fight some harmonies, and this part was extremely stressful because of the rising water. Can you fucking not? Oh my god! And the problem is that the water's still rising, so I have to worry about this shit too. Jesus. But after some struggle, we escape and finally bring Chapter 12 to a close. Yeah, Broken Sky is easily one of the hardest levels in the game. Oh, we did it, boys. We got another Stone Award. Let's go. Yeah, and then there's a bunch of secret encounters and whatnot in that level, but we're not doing them right now.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water. Please help me.
We're still stuck on the sinking plane, but luckily Luca got a chopper for us. But as we're about to leave, the Omega boat is nearby, so we hand Cereza off and get ready to sink an Angel's battleship.
It's okay, little one. I'll be right back.
The boat's name is Sapientia, and he's about to exposition us again, but we're all tired of it. Nice shot! Despite this, he still yaps for a bit, talking about a lot of stuff we already know. That's great, man, but I don't have time for your Lord and Savior. I'm here to beat you to death. Surf's up, dude. Alright, let's go. This boss fight is awkward, because we're constantly moving forward, and Boat here is so big. Sometimes it's really hard to avoid its attacks. Oh, okay. So I dodged that correctly, but because his hitbox is so big and he lasts there so long, I actually just take damage anyway, because I dodged. Okay, good. Game sucks. For the most part, it's another set-piece boss fight, just like the last few. You'll be going to the faces on his limbs, because the faces are the Angel's weak point, don't you know? I highly recommend using Shiraba here, as the weaves it has are much more likely to hit him. He'll also shoot various projectiles, from missiles to lasers to fireballs, so keep an eye on him and be ready to dodge when you hear him make any noises. He also likes to stomp his limbs, so you want to be aware when he does this, because, of course, it has little wind-up to warn you. Jesus, I'm already at like half health. This is rough. Damn, son. Once all of his limbs are destroyed, we summon Phantasma Renea, since we know boats are arachnophobic. So we grab him, lean over to face his fear of spiders. He will try to break free, so make sure you're ready to counter him. But once we have Boat encounter the Newcastle Big Boy, that's a real spider by the way, we switch to his second phase. This time we just have to attack his face rather than his leg faces, which I found much easier to do since you can actually see what he's doing rather than a lot of the stuff coming from off screen. I am able to get his health low enough to start leading him back to Phantasma again, but unfortunately I missed the counter and have to lower him again. Luckily missing that QTE doesn't hurt you, so that's nice, I guess. Alright, let's try this again. Let's get you over to meet that spider. No. You're gonna do it again, jackass. But we get him to the average Australian spider, rip his wings off, and he gets pissed, creating a giant whirlpool. And this one's kind of a bitch. So Boat will be firing lasers from eyes that appear on the sides of the whirlpool, which is already difficult to avoid by dodging, but there's also missiles going across as well. And with the water effects, they are already very hard to see, and this just makes it worse. Most I can recommend is by either dodging into the lasers as they pass over, or trying to jump over them instead. Once you actually reach his face, it's just like the last phase. Just keep hitting him, avoiding his bites and claws, spend any magic on Heel Stomp, and... Oh, this sucks! This is the real boss fight. Oh, is it gonna push me back again? Oh, yep. Yeah, I think there's a reason why I barely remember your boss fight outside of it just being a thing that happens. Finally, we can hit the climax, sending Boat into the giant spider web. I have no patience for you. Big spider. This isn't even a demon, this is just an average day in Australia. Once Sapientia is destroyed, we ask why the angels could possibly want the Isolworld, because apparently Bayonetta blacked out during Luca's exposition, and Sapientia laughs at that before getting dragged to Inferno. Disregarding that, we surf back up to Luca and Cereza.
Welcome aboard, Cheshire.
Oh, fucking hell!
And then we settle in and get ready to fly to the island, even if we've thrown all subtlety out the window.
Well, so much for the subtle approach.
There's never been a subtle approach. Though considering what we've been doing, I'm pretty sure everyone knows where we are 24/7. You see, aside from the damage, that score's not bad. Like, I'll take that. That is not a bad score. After a bit of flying, Luca starts talking about how everyone on the island likely knows we're coming and will have to be prepared. Because if we're not, we're going to die and...
Oh. I'm looking.
Luca, for God's sake, there's missiles coming. Wake up!
Oh, fuck me.
It's fine though, Bayonetta has this under control. And we start one of the roughest sections of the game.
Get ready.
Sorry boys, that's how it is. Space Harrier is kinda ass. How am I supposed to play a shooter when the guy I'm playing as keeps getting in my way? And this section is even worse because it's Space Harrier, but the controls are reversed. Who's ready to play Space Harrier? Where up and down is inverted because God is dead. God help me if I ever want to pure platinum this game. This section is total agony. Oh, and if you get motion sickness, you'll probably want to skip this section because each time you dodge, yeah, it's not great. The next video chapter will be right past this part, so feel free to skip this one if you have to. For the rest of you, strap in, because we have two very long verses to get through with this one. All of the angels here shoot projectiles at you, and while you don't have to spin all the time to dodge, I'm not good at these kinds of games. And since this is a character action game I've spent the last 7 hours playing, I haven't really had time to brush up on this style of game. The most important thing to know is that your shots will fire a bit slower if you're not rapidly mashing, so prepare for some wrist pain. You can also spend your magic to launch homing missiles at the angels as well, but again, you'll lose magic if you're hit. Just because you're playing a totally different kind of game doesn't mean you're exempt from the rules of Bayonetta. Once you're halfway through the first verse, an Inspired will show up. The fight will either take 5 seconds or 5 minutes depending on how much magic you still have, or you could just be like me and forget that the missiles are a thing. It's not a great look for you past me. Oh god. You know what really sucks? This isn't even like halfway through this section yet. After that though, I try out the turbo buttons and the results speak for themselves. You know, I'm curious, what if I... Oh wow. Ironically, this doesn't help me as much as I'd like. And not long after that, some angels pop up on the missiles and we get to play the game normally. At least for a few seconds before it's back to Space Harrier, baby! Not long after this, Fortitudo is back for another fight, but now in shmup form. The turbo buttons actually make him vaporize, so actually using the missiles would have helped too. You know, I'm not one to really get motion sick, but I understand. This is awful. Turbo mode, go. And with that, we're through verse 1. But wait, there's more! Verse 2 is also Space Harrier, but now there's more enemies. I at least finally remember the missile button exists, so this part is slightly easier. You know, until I die. You know what the worst part about all this is? There's a boss fight after this. Maybe the hardest one in the game, really. And if you're going for pure platinum, you'll have to replay these sections over and over again each time that boss wings you. It's fine, we get farther, delete 3 Inspireds at once, and then after some more shooting, Temporantia decides he wants a rematch too. And unfortunately, we can only hit him in the head with these shots, and he summons back up in the form of decorations. God, please stop giving me your hardest battles. Why? Why has it gotta have so much health? And why can't I earn meter very well in these sections, dude? Come on, just let me earn the magic. Find the magic. But we're able to win, and finally we bring verse 2 to an end and bury my joy in the back yard as it died from that section.
It's brilliant, Mummy!
After the motion sickness ride of a lifetime, we've reached the island. And who else would be here to free us except Jean? We then land on this roof, bring Cereza to safety. I'm sure Luca will be fine. And Jean expositions at us some more. It is close to the end of the game, so that's just how it's going to be. Turns out a child born of both light and darkness could have thrown the whole world into chaos. Well, don't I have egg on my face? And of course, that child was Bayonetta. Oh, we can't forget the dramatic missiles. Gotta have the dramatic missiles. It's just like how I can't leave my house without my comfort nuke. John says she has to do everything she can to prevent the left eye from falling into the wrong hands. Before she fires even more missiles, Lucas swoops in and steals a remote from her.
I'm really beginning to hate missiles.
He also takes Cereza away on his invisible motorcycle. And for breaking the laws of reality, God strikes Luca down. With that, Jean taunts us one more time and we begin her fourth and final fight.
This can wait no longer.
Alright guys, here we go. The thing that broke all of my fingers back in the day. Jean 4 is easily the most difficult fight in the game. She's got all her moves, loves spamming weaves, sometimes even back to back, and has 4 health bars. Not only that, but sometimes instead of using her guns, named All for One, she busts out her copy of Sharaba, Angel Slayer. This fight is really complicated. Even past me knew how much of a pain in the ass it is to practice this fight. Yeah, no, this is like the hardest fight in the game, next to probably the final boss. And it happens after the shittiest part in the game. So to properly practice this, I can only imagine the agony people have had to go through to really actually practice this Jean fight. Sci-Funk did help during this, but it's still a hard fight. But after damaging Jean enough, the building we're on collapses and we move on to the second phase of this fight. Well... Yes! Dad, get out of my room. I've been playing video games. The location and the fit might change, but the battle doesn't. At least not too much. You have to look out because Jean will summon missiles to hit you with. You can dodge them, but there's a far more satisfying solution. No. You know what? You want to throw these around so bad, you have it. No, you have it. I insist. No, you have it. I insist, Jean. After that, I'm able to quite effectively stun-lock Jean with Sci-Funk, even hitting her with 2 weaves in a row at one point. Hey, it's not a long combo, but against Jean, it feels amazing to do. Eventually, her health lowers enough that she hops on the missile and we have to do a QTE to join her. We fight on the missile a bit. Still gonna take a while, but like, this is great. There it is. Eventually have to do another QTE to leap onto another missile. You should also look out for Jean attacking you with 2 weaves at once, as this is her counter QTE. If you're human, I highly recommend avoiding countering it with your own QTE, because the mashing you have to do is madness, and it's like near fucking impossible, honestly. But after long enough, we leap off the missile and land in the final part of this boss fight. Here you can either fight Jean in the courtyard or on this wall, and I prefer the wall, as there's far more room and much less clutter to block your view. I then get to show the true power of my turbo buttons. Okay, let me just be real with you for that one section. The amount of mashing you have to do is insanity. When I originally played this, I could never win that QuickTime event. The only reason I won, in this case, is because of the turbo settings I have. That's the only reason. Kamiya, what is wrong with you? This sadly didn't help me as much as I'd like. She did a wicked weave and then slid into me, and I only had 1 health left, but we run it back. Funny enough, as difficult as this fight is, definitely one of my favorite moments in the game, which is funny because it's preceded by probably the worst moment in the game. But this is not my favorite boss fight. My favorite boss fight is actually in 2 levels. But we'll get there. God, can we not fight in the corner, please? A true enemy, the camera, is at its work yet again. Damn, I didn't even know you could go in here. I thought this was just like a big invisible wall cube. But this is the ultimate corner. I really don't want to fight in here, Jean. Okay, good, we destroyed it. Thank God. Aww. What'd she even do? Nothing happened. I'm so confused. What happened? What? She like snapped her fingers to summon something, but nothing got summoned. Oh, gravity's being weird. Oh, gravity's being weird. She's got so much health, dude. I swear this last health bar lasts as long as all the other 4 combined. Okay. Almost got her. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Jean, that's for the last time I played this game on hard. We did it. We defeated Jean. In her defeat, she says we were able to defeat her because we've accepted our fate. Bayonetta then pulls the red gem from her chest, apparently, lamenting how many people died from it. As she hands the gem to Jean, we can see the names Jean and Cereza appear in Umbran's script on the gem. Damn it, I still can't figure out who Cereza is. But we see in the past that Jean had sealed Bayonetta into the red gem so that way the angels couldn't acquire the left eye.
Do not fear your fate. Stand, Cereza.
She then fondly remarks about her childhood with Bayonetta and how they used to play together. And then this happens.
But as time passed, perhaps even my eyes were clouded with fear. We were. Do not fear your fate. Stand, Cereza.
Hey, Jean, where's your gun? There was also supposed to be something... I'm gonna reboot the game after this. Dude, this is like the most fucked up version of Bayonetta I've ever played. Why did entities just not spawn? What's going on? With Jean seemingly dead, we're left to mourn our loss. But luckily Luke is here with a ghost. What happened to Cereza, Luca? I don't really know how, but this game's breaking down around us. He's supposed to escape an explosion with Cereza, but what the fuck? Well, whatever. We resolve to get to the top of this tower and chapter 14 ends. Alright, the only medal I really care about is the gold one against Jean. And for the most part, it's only gold because I got hit a bunch of times and lost all my fucking health, but it's fine. Okay, so I have some bad news about this chapter. I couldn't actually finish it for this run. For whatever reason, I would hit this verse right here, and then it would not spawn the encounter I had to fight, so I was just stuck here with Temperantia just shooting at me forever. I did beat this later off stream, and as expected, I got my ass kicked, because this stage is both long and difficult, since it's also a boss rush at parts. If you can beat the last chapters, you can beat this one. I believe in you. As for plot, we hear voices again, and apparently Cereza hears them too, saying that's her daddy. She runs off, causing us all to get separated. At the end of the chapter, we get to the top of the tower. Now, this next part. Chapter 16. This contains what is probably the most infamous cutscene from Bayonetta. It is a massive exposition dump that makes the lore and plot all kinds of complicated. The TLDR version is that this guy, Baldur, brought younger Bayonetta from the past. Oh, that's who she is! And by doing so, it would awaken the powers of the left eye within her, as he is the right eye. This will allow the resurrection of the creator. Also, Luca learns that Bayonetta didn't kill his. That's more or less what's talked about. However, something happened on this day, dear viewers. Something special. As I've alluded to, the PC version of Bayonetta is kind of strange. Lots of bugs and weirdness, but nothing that outright broke the game aside from Chapter 15. And what we're about to witness is the culmination of that. I present to you, lightly edited, Bayonetta without her meds. We made it to the top. Here we are, I guess. Are you guys ready to be very confused? Because this cutscene is extremely infamous. That's mainly because it dumps all of the exposition in one singular go, and it's a lot. Also, for being... Oh, Cereza's gone again. What's wrong with my copy of Bayonetta?
My dear, sweet Cereza.
Every copy of Bayonetta 1 is personalized. And apparently, mine is supposed to give me schizophrenia.
My name is Baldur, but if you so choose, you may address me as Father.
No, I don't think I will.
How did you get the girl?
Where is she, actually? That's the better question. Where is Cereza? Where is she? She just got turned into a doll. Fuck. We had to skip the last level because we kept getting soft locked and it just refused to spawn enemies that it was supposed to. Like, it just... He looked like he got really mad at me for interrupting him. In the video I make for playing through this game, I will actually, like, show the results of me. But we've just been having... Like, this isn't just non-stop Infinite Climax, this is non-stop Infinite Glitches. Like, DMC, it just crashed. This is just... There's supposed to be a... There's supposed to be a flower there. That would have been even funnier if it was there, but I guess it's not. I don't care. Oh, Bayonetta doesn't have her gun again. This is like a bunch of actors just like practicing out the scene before they actually like do it. And they just don't have any props. Like they're just pretending. She has finger guns. Yeah, she sure has finger guns. Madame, you missed it. What? Where's the tower? Where is it? It's supposed to be there. What? Where's the tower? What the fuck? What's going on? Where are we? The Trinity of Realms is breaking down. It's all coming apart. Oh my god. Maybe Baldur's right. Maybe we do need to summon Jubileus.
Never call the man behind this nightmare father.
Wasn't there supposed to be a flashback there? Luca?
Great speech, big guy.
Luca?
Luca.
Where is...
All executive.
Where is he?
Self Salvation.
The hide-seek champion.
Entrepreneurial philosophy.
We're never gonna find him.
History is littered with famous genocidal figures, just like you.
I'm so happy I'm recording this. Like, what? Is Bayonetta just made out of spaghetti code? And I didn't know?
Like father, like son, I suppose.
What?
Just cutting to an empty scene with nobody there and just having the subtitles is amazing. Oh my fucking god, this is exceeding all my expectations. I can't handle that. Every time it cuts to that, I fucking die. Is Lucas supposed to be reacting, but there's no one there?
Bastard!
Oh my god, the affinities aren't there either that are supposed to hold him in place. And the flashbacks aren't working. What's going on? This is it, guys. This is the ultimate gaming experience. What? What? I can't believe Luca's fucking dead. Holy shit. This cutscene's so amazing. Are these two just stuck in Infinite Tsukiyomi? Basically. Where's Cereza? She's been gone the whole time. I don't know why. Holy shit. I can't add anything to this. This is one of the best gaming experiences of my entire life. Oh my god. The comedy gold is beautiful, isn't it? At least the bullets spawned. At least the bullets spawned. Sweet mother of God. Oh my god. Man, this would be super dramatic if I could see Cereza. Where's Baldur? Where's Baldur? What? Oh my god, hold on, I need a minute. Oh, sweet Jesus. I swear, when I just saw this blank sky and nothing else, I just assumed at that moment the cutscene was stuck and it was over. We were not going to progress any farther. But no, it kept going. Oh my god. Oh, dude, that was one of the most busted ass cutscenes I've ever seen in my entire life. I didn't do anything. Like, all I've done is turn on OBS, stream and record. That's it. We have not done anything to this video game. There are no mods. There are no fan patches. This is the version I got when I downloaded it from Steam. That's it. I hope everyone's recovered from whatever the hell that was, because it's time to fight Baldur. And unlike his counterpart in Double Survivor, I don't need Mistletoe to hurt him. This is my favorite fight in the game, as it feels just the right amount of cinematic and challenging. Baldur has lots of unique moves, including a blade of light from his hands, but a lot of his moves are from previous bosses, including spawning lava under you like Fortitudo, shooting lasers like Temperantia, and okay, well, I don't think he can take anything with Elastidia without looking like a weirdo, but I mean, hey, he's got QTEs, that's something, right? Overall, this is a good test of what you learn and a very enjoyable fight, though he's still fast as fuck, just like everyone else. Oh, thank God. I was so scared. I thought Gamora wasn't gonna spawn in either, but we're good. Well, shit. This fucking guy. Can you not? Oh, jeez. Oh yeah, this part where he just throws a whole fucking building at me. No, I don't think so, Baldur. That was close. From Bayonetta with love. Oh yeah, and then he shoots an orbital laser at me. Because, you know... Dude, this fight is such a fucking spectacle. I absolutely love it. You can't play the game correctly. We had to skip the last level because some of the enemies that were supposed to spawn just didn't. So, you know... It's been bad. Yeah, Baldur definitely got that issue of his attacks come out way too fucking fast. Oh no! Oh no! The crushing rate of reality is gonna kill Baldur. This is gonna happen. There's supposed to be a giant centipede there. I can't even like enjoy these cutscenes because the game's so fucked up right now. Oh my god, dude. Damn it. I was gonna say, I know he's not done yet. Oh yeah, and then he gets really mad, and then he throws the satellite at me instead of just shooting it again. Yeet! I can at least enjoy this part. Once more. Once we knock him backwards, Bayonetta shoots her lipstick at Baldur.
Don't fuck with a witch.
We then have to steer the lipstick bullet at Baldur's stupid-ass face. You can mess this up, so make sure you hit him. This will be an important skill for later. Right in the face.
The Creator, grace you!
There he goes. With that, we've saved the day. We got Cereza back, or at least her ghost. Let's just roll with it at this point. And Luca's still safe. But it's time to send Cereza back to where she belongs as we open a portal back in time and bring Cereza to her room. There we encourage her, say we found the treasure we were looking for, and remind her to keep hers safe.
You're a strong little girl. There is nothing you cannot overcome.
Mommy, did you find it? What you were looking for?
Yes, I found it. So don't you worry anymore. You just keep your treasure safe too. Sweet dreams, little one. Fly me to the moon and let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words.
With that, we head back to our own time, and that's it. Another happy ending. So, turns out time travel has consequences. Who knew? Since we encouraged our younger self to keep what we treasured the most close to us, young Cereza kept her Umbran watch near her chest at all times. This means when Jean attempted to seal her away, her sword was blocked by the watch. Thus Cereza, instead of giving into despair, resolves to no longer be afraid of her fate.
There's nothing I cannot do.
This causes her to reawaken to the powers of the left eye. Luca attempts to help. This was Baldur's real plan, as now, since both the left and right eyes are awakened, he takes Bayonetta away and floats up into this giant rocket that his tower actually was, and enters into the statue at his peak, resulting in him and Bayonetta being placed within the eyes, ready to resurrect the creator Jubileus.
Jubileus, the creator, grace all of its creations.
How did I do anyway? Gold? Alright, we'll take that. It was the damage that fucked me up. Okay, you know what? That's fair enough. What, did you think it was over? That's right, Jean also survived, using the red jewel that was originally used to seal Bayonetta. It instead shields Jean from the missiles, as well as freeing her from Baldur's mind control. She then uses some affinities as stepping stones and lands on the rocket.
The left eye, our treasured left eye, will never fall into the hands of another. It is the pride of the Umbra witches.
Now we have to drive up the rocket as it's blasting into space. And while we are having to do the weird motorcycle segment again, I would like to remind everyone that we are currently riding a rocket into space by driving on the side with a motorcycle. I can't even mad at this, it's just so cool. Though this isn't. Thanks, boat. But running that back and getting through the verse a little more cleanly. The second one has all of Paradiso trying to stop Jean from getting to Bayonetta. Joys, beloves, everything. Getting through that, we ride up the falling parts of the rocket before finally having to leap off the motorcycle to reach the last parts of it, which are shaped like people for some reason. We have to reach the top, and I opt to just get there rather than trying to fight the deers that are hanging around. Getting closer, Baldur taunts us because he's now the moon. Ooh. This isn't supposed to look like this, by the way. But since Jean is here to save Bayonetta, Baldur decides that he needs to slow her down. If you've ever wondered why the logo of Bayonetta 2 looks the way it does, now you know. Ironically, this does nothing to slow me down, and we're through here in a few seconds. Can't be helped, I suppose. I guess it's just the logical extreme for every single villain, huh? You just destroy the moon. Sure, that's not gonna have some irrecoverable consequences. Then finally reach Bayonetta and rip her out from the left eye of Jubileus. Baldur tries to stop us because if the universe isn't balanced, then we'll have to deal with another Armageddon. Hey, my man, maybe you should have never woken this thing up at all, huh? Just a suggestion.
Now you must wake up, Cereza. Cereza! Cereza! Damn you, open your eyes!
Bayonetta is freed and Jean encourages her while I proceed to disrespect Jean extremely hard.
The person
John, I'm sorry that you're the Luigi of this series.
To overcome this and fight.
I hate that that statement's more correct than I would like it to be. But with that, the statue begins to form the creator, Jean floats away, Baldur laments that Jubileus is no longer balanced before being crushed to death.
The trinity of realities wrapped up in a vortex of creation.
And whose fault is that, Baldur? We see the rebirth of the most iconic boss fight in the entire series, Jubileus. Alright, Jubileus. I'm scared. This is, by far, one of the most over-the-top and amazing boss fights in action game history. Hell, maybe in all of video games.
Rest, my friend. I'm off to get that black cat.
Jubileus is big, flashy, and basically the size of the moon. At the start, you'll be dealing with these missiles that'll just beat up and kick around, but they will charge at you if you leave them alone long enough. Jubileus herself will also spike her ribbons around you and shoot fireballs from them, followed up by punching you. But keep in mind, because the next time the ribbons spike down, they shoot electricity instead. By the way, you keep the health Jean had, so, you know, that's cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah, and this is only the first phase. The phase changes every time you you delete a health bar. But by the way, I don't expect to get through this without dying, because this is going to be fucking absurd. Especially since I lost all of my health while playing as Sean. Despite that, I'm able to get through the first phase, causing Jubileus to get pissed and set everything on fire. And you already know Durga's coming out, which makes getting around here quite easily. You'll have to be careful of the lava columns that appear, but with Durga, we're able to get around quickly and break all of Jubileus' ribbons. Damn, you really can just skip through a lot of this section, can't you? She throws another fit and we jump up and punch her in the face. Yeah. This knocks her down for extra damage, but since I'm still using Durga, I sadly waste the opportunity. Luckily, Jubileus was low enough to go to her third phase, making the sphere we're on into ice. This is where I finally equip Odette for those of you that have been screaming about it the whole time. It's a very good weapon, allowing for your movement speed to increase, among other things, but for the moment I'm using it to get around to avoid being frozen by the lake. Sadly, I do get frozen by this ribbon's attack, and that sends me back to... Yeah, Jubileus does have checkpoints, but they take a while to get to, and also have their own issues. We run the first few phases back, this time using Sharaba, though my inexperience with the blade makes me take much longer to finish the first phase. Let's go play all the Bayonettas. They're pretty good. Just as long as you ignore the story of 3, it's also alright, but it doesn't play like fucking Bayonetta 1 and 2 at all. It's 3 bad. Look, I'm gonna keep saying it, the gameplay of 3 is fine, but the story is dog shit. Like, I've written better story-wise. Like, it is terrible. We waited 8 years for Bayonetta 3, and it gave us one of the worst stories of all time. But past that, we get through the fire phase. Because of our use of Durga, we can just walk across that fire no problem. Yo, what up? And blast through the ice phase, this time without becoming an America visiting Canada for the first time. I like the ice. I do think that's the biggest problem I have with Bayonetta 1 is just that the game doesn't really have good indicators for when enemies are attacking, which really kind of fucking sucks. And then this game also just pulls the, haha, we put stuff off screen. Aw, that sucks. You got hit by that? Aw. Oh no. But yeah, not a fan of that, but I suppose that's just kind of a flaw of the genre that you gotta deal with. Get to the fourth phase. This one is thunder themed, and it's probably one of my least favorite to do because you have to leap across these rocks to get around with the QTE to move you from place to place. The problem is that you're getting assaulted by missiles and there's lightning coming from the sky you have to dodge, and during all this the platforms are constantly moving around, so it's very hard to see where you need to jump to. It is possible to use Crow Within to fly between the platforms, but I do not recommend it. What I do recommend is using Durga's Thunder form. A full set will make you immune to lightning, which I should have fucking known since I use the fire version all the time, but I didn't. You know, I feel like the tornadoes probably shouldn't actually have been a stage hazard when you're trying to jump around. They could have just been part of the set piece. But no, they decide to actually make them hazards, and that's kind of made part of this section annoying. I'm here. Regardless, we get through this phase, and now Jubilees does this. That's right, she's shooting galaxies at us. It's just like Gurren Lagann, and if it hits, you get turned into Cereza. You can't attempt to dodge the following punches, but the last one always hits you. You can time Bat Within when you get hit, but the timing is frame perfect. Instead, use Crow Within to avoid the galaxies outright. Sadly, I don't make it, but the checkpoint is right at this phase, so we load back in and... Very cool, Kamiya. Yeah, I don't know why Jubilees gets more health from this checkpoint. It's not like I lowered it more than I should. She has to be around 2 health bars to get through this phase, but okay, fine. It's not like there's an instant kill or any. Man, just use Panther Within and run away from that. That's all you need to do. Another death later, and I pull out Pillow Talk. Its moveset is identical to Shiraba, but it does have slightly less damage. This is because a charged attack with Pillow Talk boosts its damage, allowing for you to go crazy. There we go. Yeah, as long as we can just stop that instant kill from hitting us, that would be great. Well, I would have liked to go after the things that were actually going to let me do damage, but no, I guess not. Oh lord, it's coming. Ah, man. Damn it, almost had him. Alright, 1.5 health bars to go. Go. Alright, can we stop this whole fucking bullshit shenanigans already? Oh, we're doing the instant kill move now? Awesome. Jesus Christ. No, almost... Not really sure how I dodged all that, but you know what, we take those. Just wait up here a little bit. Alright, last health bar. We can do this. Got the power of God and anime on my side. Damn it. Dude, these little fucking enemies that keep spawning are actually the worst. At least you can kick them around like they deserve. And after much struggling from a phase that lasted way longer than it should have, we hit the final climax. I'm gonna climb up there and I'm gonna punch God in the face. Fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. Here I come. Pizza time. Yo, I gotta do it to him. Oh, did you think just because Baldur summons a goddess, I can't do the same? Oh, mine's bigger. Show him, Queen Shiva. Alright, let's go punch God in the face. Punching God in the face is one thing. It's another thing entirely to punch God's soul out of its body. But we have one more thing to do. We have to guide Jubileus' soul into the sun. And, I really suck at this part. It's like when we shot the lipstick at Baldur, but with a much larger area of error. I beefed this, ruining the entire climax on stream. Luckily, through editing, that never happens, and we just do this. That shouldn't have taken that many tries, but we did it eventually. Alright, get in the sun. Bye-bye. I would be happier right now if that was on the first try, but whatever. Section's jank, what can I tell you? The credits start rolling, and we're finally done with. Just kidding, Jean's here again. After all, she helped us summon Queen Shiva, and together we destroy the body of Jubilee. You ever seen someone beef the climax of a story this badly? To be fair, this part's pretty awkward. What's going on is that you can move left and right, but going up and down kind of moves you around Jubileus' body, and if you don't do enough damage quickly, rip Earth. Again, I really gotta stop fucking using Sci-Fung in these moments. I switched back to Scarborough Fair and were able to destroy Jubileus once and for all. I'm gonna have to practice a lot to get good at it, because it just feels very strange. Come on. Right there, I'm just randomly getting stuck on nothing. Jean and Bayonetta meet up and stick close to each other as they fall to Earth.
Let's go! Just stay close to me!
See Luca looking up in the sky hoping that Bayonetta is safe. She doesn't appear.
I bet you're trying to sneak up on me right now. Aren't you, Bayonetta?
A few days later, we see Enzo, Rodon, and Luca attending a funeral, seemingly for Bayonetta.
You know how it works with witches, Enzo. They make a deal with the devil, and when they die, the devil gets his due.
Why are you telling me this? Is this not why we are standing here? Praying for her soul to rest in peace? I better not be out here catching a fucking cold if these prayers don't mean nothing.
It's nice to think your prayers are worth a damn, isn't it?
Luca even brings her a massive amount of rosemary for her since it's a demon repellent.
I said I'd never give up chasing you. I just never thought the chase would end like this. Rosemary. You said it was a demon repellent. It might help you on the road ahead.
But something tells me she won't be needing it.
Hey, wait a second! What the hell are they coming down here to get her for?
Of course they'd come for the prize they've been seeking all along.
Holy shit! You're...
This looks ridiculous on me. I swear, this is the last time I cosplay.
You hear that? That's your cue.
Will you hurry up? Don't tell me you fell asleep in that thing again.
Hey, what the? You gotta fucking be kidding me! You're telling me she's... Unfucking-believable!
Morning!
You fools! Of course she's fine! Did you ever have any doubt?
Extra ingenue?
It has a bit of rosemary. In the language of flowers, rosemary equates to remembrance. Suits me now, doesn't it? Let's dance, boys!
With that, we did it. Beat Bayonetta on non-stop Infinite Climax difficulty. Oh wait, hold on 1 second. There we go. This was easily one of the hardest things I've done on the channel so far, but it was still a blast. Bayonetta on Infinite Climax, despite how rough it can be, despite how goddamn fast the enemies are, still feels amazing to play. Like I said earlier, if you can do it once, you can do it again but better. Even now I've been replaying this game and loving it. This little challenge taught me so much, and I appreciate the mechanics of Bayonetta far more than I did before. If you want to get even better, I'd recommend watching the playthrough by Setnaro X. I've been using their playthrough as reference a bit before and after my attempts, and just watching them play helped me quite a bit. And I hope one day you'll attempt this challenge too, because you can do it, even if it is daunting. Because in the sea of games in my collection, Bayonetta still remains as one of a kind. Oh man, that was probably one of the longest projects I worked on for this channel. If you did enjoy this video, please help support it by using the usual YouTube stuff of liking, subscribing, and commenting. And also please consider supporting me on my Ko-fi page. By doing that, you guys can help fund future videos and keep me doing this thing that I really enjoy doing. Seriously, I did not expect to sit down and have so much to say about Bayonetta 1. There are 49 pages of script here that I've gone through, and I think this whole process took me about 5 weeks to do. It was a big one. It was a big one. That's going to be everything from me. You guys take care. I'm rooting for you. See you next time, everyone.